Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Media Buffering Podcast. This is episode 7. We have been gone for quite a bit, but we are happy to be back today. I am joined by Matthew
Yo, what's up?
and Quentin.
I am here.
But yeah, so since we've been gone for a while, we all have, our lives, in November and December are typically those busy times of the year with family and Thanksgiving and school getting crazy and all that sort of stuff. We took a little break, but we are back. Today is our catch-up episode, so it is effectively just a whole bunch of tangents and no real specific topic like we would normally have.
Feel free to leave now.
Yeah, if you want organization, you will not receive it here. But then again, if you listen to our last episode, it wasn't that organized either. Fucking Quentin started talking about, I don't know, I think it was Matt started talking about the plot to some Christmas movie, and I disassociated from reality while Quentin was back there laughing about Hamburger Meister Burger, whatever the fuck.
Hey, put respect on Meister Burger's name.
Never in my life will I do such a thing.
Meister Burger.
Burgermeister Meister
Look at
Burger.
Matthew's still back there so confused.
Sounds like Fred Burger.
Fred Burger.
Burger? Yes?
I hate both of you so much.
Hey, that was a good show.
Is it?
The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy? Of course. That's a gem.
Yeah, it had its episodes. It like I said, I think I said this in earlier.
Join us next week when we have two members of the Media Buffs.
Like I said, I think I said this on an earlier podcast. Cartoon Network wasn't my thing, so I've only seen a handful of episodes of Billy and Mandy.
That's a damn shame.
What was it? I think I saw. I don't know if it was like a extra long episode or a movie, but there was one where Billy had a song about him not being scared or something.
Stereo. That was the Halloween movie, yeah.
Yeah, I do remember liking that song. That was a good song. I remember I saw that. Weren't they on like some hell pirate ship or something like that?
Yeah, Grim gets his job stolen, basically.
I remember very little of that show. I just remember they had a Christmas episode where they're like fighting elves or something like that. Or something similar to that. And there was a game on Cartoon Network's website where you were playing as all three of them at once, and like one of them could defend and one of them could attack like these things that were coming down from the top of the screen.
I remember
good game.
I remember the era when you could go onto like Nickelodeon.com or Disney.com or CartoonNetwork.com, and they'd have so many games for you to play based off of all the shows they had.
Okay. Real callback to, I think it was last episode, maybe 2 episodes ago. So there was this game on the Cartoon Network website for Bobobo, and it was like a Mortal Kombat fighter.
You're kidding.
But you were playing as, there were a few characters you could play as.
Bobo was definitely last episode, by the way.
Yeah,
because that's how we started that mess of a tangential episode.
Well, then it only makes sense to start the tangent episode
with Bobo. To Matt's utter
kill me.
Matt's utter annoyance. We're gonna keep talking about Bobo.
I have nothing else to say about it except for that was a good game.
I always wanted to play Fusion Fall.
You can.
Yeah, they have
it
still up, right?
Are we gonna make a point of doing that, Matt?
We'll see.
We can do that. We can play that. I think
there's a lot of games on the list right now.
Was Fusion Fall the Cartoon Network one?
Yeah, Fusion Fall was the Cartoon Network one.
And then Disney had a Pirates MMO.
Oh yeah, I had like the Pirates of the Caribbean MMO.
That was so fun.
Was that was by the same people that made I almost said Wizards of the Coast.
Wizard 101?
Wizard 101, yeah.
No, that was
I don't
separate.
Think so. There is a Pirates 101.
They have Pirates 101, but it's not the Pirates of the Caribbean MMO.
Yeah, it's
that was a
two
Disney
separate
thing. It
games.
lasted for like 5 years or something like that.
Yeah, and I played it off and on, never paid for anything, which is probably why they got rid of it.
Listen, I just played Roblox, man. I don't know about all these.
I actually didn't play
indie
Roblox.
Games.
You didn't play Toontown?
No.
Toontown.
My little brother
was
did.
Fire, dog.
I didn't play that one either.
Turn-based.
It was turn-based.
You know what's good turn-based? It's actually a card game, but Wizard 101 had turn-based combat that was pretty satisfying.
I never played Wizards 101. I tried to play Free Realms at one point. Do you guys remember Free Realms?
I don't think. Is that the one with the squirrel?
I do. That one's like
yeah, it's the one with the orange flying squirrel.
Yeah, okay,
dude.
then yeah, I've seen commercials for it.
Yeah, I tried to play that one, but I couldn't because you had to pay.
Anyway,
it was like what was the name? What's the name of that Hold
Remember
on.
when I started talking about how this is going to be a tangent episode?
Let's just start it here. Like we're not gonna like actually have
Fable.
any structure to this. This is the start.
It was like an RPG version of Fable.
The RPG version of is
Well, I guess
Fable?
Fable's already an RPG, but like online or MMO
Yeah,
RPG.
they were trying to make a MMO for Fable, and then they ended up making this like arenas or some shit. I can't remember what it was called, but yeah, I know what you're talking about. And
Elder
then that
Scrolls
failed.
Arena.
Well, no, I'm talking about what you just said. The last game you said.
Oh, Free Realms?
Yeah, Free Realms.
Is that what that was?
That's what it felt like.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, those are two different things. But yeah, okay. I don't know Free Realms, so I cannot speak on that.
Okay, so
Speak on it.
I will speak on it
After-
upon it.
after having gone on that tangent, let us actually get to a segment of the podcast. We are going to do.
There's no structure here. This is chaos.
So, well, don't worry, because even though this is a segment, it's still going to be chaos. So, we have obviously missed quite a bit of news. So, we're going to have a couple more serious points of news. Obviously, some major things have happened that we're going to have to talk about for a little bit, maybe take a step back from the jokes. But once we get out of that sort of realm of serious news, we will be rapid fire smacking you with information of new games and stuff that has already come out and stuff like that, as well as a few couple joke segments at the end.
I disagree with what you just said. There will be no breaks from the jokes.
Will there be no breaks from the jokes?
It's going to be a regular stream of jokes like we do normally, which is usually not a lot, actually.
That remains to be seen.
I listen to our podcast audio whenever I'm recording or whenever I'm editing it. We don't make as many jokes as I'd like.
We did last week, but that's because last week was just full of.
Last week was a joke.
Yeah, last week was what it was a massive joke of us annoying each other with random references that all of us hated.
Anyway.
News.
First on our list, this was something I was going to bring up whenever we were going to do our original podcast before we put it off. But there was unfortunately the shooting on the set of Rust, which involved Alec Baldwin. If I remember correctly, he was pointing the gun at the camera, and it wound up firing with a real bullet inside, and it killed the director of photography and injured the director of the film. A lot of stuff has happened since then. I know Dwayne The Rock Johnson said he was never going to use like real guns in his movies, and a couple of other studios said the same thing. Nathan Fillion's current show, The Rookie, said that they will never be using like guns and like actual guns on set anymore and stuff like that. So there's been a lot of like major decisions and people making talking points. I know even the creator and director of Squid Game even spoke about it at one point, but he talked about it from the stance of Korean films, because apparently Korea has intense gun control, so most people that are not police don't even have access to guns, including the movie industry. But I mean, it was just a massive tragedy. I know there's a bunch of questions. I'm pretty sure Alec Baldwin did an interview like yesterday or maybe the day before, and he said he never actually pulled the trigger. In which case, how did the gun even fire? Guns don't fire themselves, but I don't know. I wasn't on set. I know it was just a super huge thing that happened. I know a lot of us were talking about it after the fact.
Lighthearted joke.
Was that your joke? Was that
That's
you just
the
said
joke.
lighthearted
This
joke?
is where the lighthearted joke goes. Or if you want to go that direction, heavy political statement.
Heavy political statement. I guess someone got fired for that one.
You're
I
under
heard that
arrest.
one.
Did you?
Get a new joke.
Okay. Matt, do you have anything?
Not really.
Okay. Moving on to another tragedy, because we had way too many of those in the past month. We had the unfortunate incident at Astro World, which is actually, we all live in Texas, so I mean that was relatively close to home. That was not close to here, but that happened down in
It was
Houston.
right down the street.
Yeah, it happened right down the street.
I saw it.
We were all there.
Now this is gonna sound bad. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, that was the Travis Scott concert. Did you not hear about that?
Oh, Trample. Yeah.
Yeah. So 7 people died that night, and then as a result of the injuries, two of the I mean, I think it was like over 100 people were injured, but two of those people, one of which was a very young child, wound up dying after the fact. So as far as I know, the count is 9 right now. I do not think it is any more
I
than
don't
that.
like you said the count, the body count.
I mean, it is a
the
body count.
scoreboard.
9 people died, but I don't think it's any more than that. Thankfully, granted, 9 is still too many, but I don't know. It
I
don't
don't know
really
what we can say about that.
I don't know. Like, do any of you guys even listen to Travis Scott at all? Like, I didn't know he was that big that he would have that much of a concert.
I mean, he is huge. He'll have that big of a concert, especially think about it. It's after 2020. A lot of people got held up. They hear that there's a big concert happening, so they're excited to actually have
That's
a big
fair.
concert for the first time. And I don't even know what I can't really speak too much on what Travis Scott's mentality was at the concert, but it seemed like he was just wanting to hype up the crowd as much as possible,
Yeah,
regardless, and just really
he kept going,
didn't care.
even though at one point he definitely knew some of what was going on, and he just kept going,
Yeah.
which is quite irresponsible if you ask me.
And like as much as people rag on him specifically, the entire crew
Yeah,
that ran it
I think it was Apple was filming
should
it,
have
and
stopped.
there's like TikTok videos of kids jumping onto like the little platform that Apple was using to record the concert and talking to the camera crew and being like, "Hey, people are getting
Tell them to
people
stop.
are
People are
yeah,
dying.
like
There's
people are getting
someone dead.
injured. You need to stop." And then the camera crew's like, "Fuck off."
There's some videos that are just like terrifying of what happened there. Just people getting like crushed in between
As a
each
person
other,
who's
not being able
never
to
really
breathe.
been to a concert, like I've been to one, but it was like a stadium concert. It's not like, everyone's on the same level type concert. Like, I think Coachella's like that and some of those like major festivals. I've never been to anything to that
Yeah, like
level, really.
outdoor.
So I can't imagine how terrifying that must be because you're really surrounded by people. Because
Yeah. And if some people in the front are getting pushed back and the people in the back are getting pushed back,
yeah,
you're
you're
just
just
literally
it's a
getting
giant
crushed
sandwich
by
of
people.
people. There's nothing you can really do to escape that. Because I mean, to even get into or out of that crowd, you need to push people aside, and then who's to say they won't push you back? And then that'll start its own thing. Yeah,
And that just creates ripples. Yeah.
it's pretty scary. But I know Travis Scott is in a whole bunch of trouble over this. I know a bunch of the families are suing him. He offered to pay for funeral expenses. A whole bunch of those families denied that and was like, "Thank you, but no, we need you to realize the severity of your situation. You cannot just buy us."
Do better.
Pretty much. There was a whole lot of criticism around Drake because apparently he performed there as well or something like that. Yeah, I don't know.
I didn't hear about that.
I'm not in that sort of rap space really, nor do I really care about
Rap space.
well, like that sort of like space of music, you know.
The space of rap.
Indeed.
What would space rap sound like?
I mean, whatever Astro World is kind of sounds like space rap.
Silence. That's the joke.
Is it?
It was funny. Laugh.
You're under
Is
arrest.
it?
The joke's too funny.
But yeah, so that was just unfortunate. Travis Scott is the dude who did the McDonald's and the Fortnite
Yeah.
thing, right?
That's how I know him. I was talking to
Yeah, that's why I was like you didn't
He's
know he was
obviously
that
got
big, but
something
he
Well,
going
I
on.
know he's
got a
been doing
McDonald's meal
stuff,
and a
but I don't know
Fortnite
how.
thing.
I didn't know how big he was in terms of concerts. Like obviously in terms of recognition. However, recognition does not equal ticket sales sometimes.
I'll say okay.
Moving on to the final serious topic. This is a follow up on another one, and I know Quitten's gonna enjoy what I say right now. Blizzard continues to get mollywopped in terms of in terms of how much trouble they're getting in.
I didn't know where you were going with that. It was just like, on to the next bad news. I know Quentin's gonna enjoy this. Like, dude, what do you take me for?
Several
rabbits
Oh
died in a
damn,
tragic
that is a happy
accident.
day.
Quentin hates rabbits. That is an in joke amongst us.
I don't know why you'd think that.
I mean, What did you just say 5 seconds ago?
I don't know.
Clearly,
I
Quentin
don't
just
know.
has some sense of just
I'm gonna need to talk to my lawyer.
what? Your lawyer? When did you get one of those?
One of those. Grab it off the shelf.
I just went to Walmart. I went to the lawyer aisle, and I ordered one off of Amazon.
Yeah, it's all there. You got, medical doctor, you got your bakery, you got the video games, lawyers.
Lawyers. That sounds about right. I'm sure at some point we'll be selling humans at like Walmart or some shit like that, selling services.
Services, they do that.
Probably. But yeah, so the CEO of Blizzard just is really not having a good time right now. He got a nice petition of over 1,000 of his employees to request that he resign. It has allegedly come out that he knew about all of the sexual harassment and just general issues that were going on at the company and refused to do anything about it. All of the big three, Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo, granted, Nintendo did it internally, but still, all three of them have spoken about it to some length and have stated that they are going to be rethinking their relationships with Blizzard and Activision.
I heard about that, and I heard that that is a better way to do it because of here's the thing: whenever you have people from inside the company saying, "Hey, we want you to step down," that's not going to do anything because the only way to get him to step down is for the shareholders to say, "Okay, you need to go."
Well, I don't
And
think
Blizzard's had the most Blizzard and Activision have had the most profits under him since he joined the company because they were about to go out of business before he joined. And so the shareholder like we don't care as long as you're making money. So if Sony and Microsoft say we're done with putting your games on our consoles, which is their big, market, then that might actually get some real change done.
Well, I feel like I feel like that petition was less so for him to actually get him to resign, and more so as a public statement, so that people like the big three would see it in the first place. It's kind of like a protest. The protest is not what's actually going to bring change. The protest is meant for people to see it, and those in power to hopefully realize maybe this is something we need to look into.
And that works all the time.
Sometimes.
60% of the time, it works every time.
But yeah, I thought that was massive. I don't think we've ever really seen anything in the industry have all of the big three really take issue with and be like, okay, maybe we need to not. Like that was major. I remember whenever I think it was Microsoft said something. I posted it in our Discord chat. I'm like, oh shit. This is not good for Blizzard to have one of the big three, especially Microsoft, which is the one that I guess it kind of works with the most, to just be like, I'm not sure about this. And then Sony says, and that's their other big one. Nintendo doesn't really matter too much because it's not like they're selling their merch on Nintendo anyway. I mean, how many people buy a Call of Duty game or buy Overwatch on the Switch? But still, to have those big companies going like, no, we will not accept this. Either you get your shit together, or we're not putting your games on our stores. That's huge. That's definitely groundbreaking. And I don't think Blizzard really wants to be groundbreaking in that sense.
It's been a long while since they've broken any ground.
That's fair. What was it like whenever Overwatch first came out? That was about it. Do you remember those days, Quentin?
I remember the days. I remember those dark, dark days when Overwatch came out, and I was gone from the sunlight for many, many a month.
Many a month. So, on some more still serious but actually positive news, uh, I kind of had my eye on this more recently. I was not, in on this for the longest time. But just for all you supporters out there, Britney Spears is finally out of her conservatorship. She is free. I think this is more of a big thing for just, changes to be made to conservatorships in general, because I mean, I didn't even know those were even a thing until this whole Free Britney thing happened. which was,
Leave Britney alone.
that guy knew. He knew before anyone else knew. That dude was really ahead of his time. He was ahead of the game. Where do you think that guy is?
Probably not still where he was, laying on the bed, screaming into the camera.
Do you think like he's like some random lawyer or businessman and people like don't recognize him anymore?
Well, that's what happens with a lot of memes, right? Like a lot of the things that came out, especially in the early days. It's like nobody remembers those people. Like I saw a picture a while back that was Bad Luck Brian, and like him grown up, and it was like, yeah, I could see the resemblance.
I saw a TikTok like yesterday that was making fun of the Star Wars kid, the kid with like the broom or the mop or
Oh
whatever.
yeah, I remember that one.
And it was funny because they made that
Is-
TikTok
is-
making fun of him, and all the comments were like, "How dare you? He is like he is one of the ancient gods of memes. How dare you? This
Are you talking
show him
about?
some
Are you
respect."
talking about the
Founder
dude
of
who was
the
twirling his
memescape.
mop around? That
Yeah,
one?
Star Wars
Yeah, I
kid.
remember that one. For whatever reason, I thought of a different video that had nothing to do with Star Wars when you said Star Wars kid. I
The
thought
guy
of
swinging the lightsaber. The dude
I
shooting the
was
gun.
I was thinking about the I have the power of God and anime on my side. I want to know what that kid's doing, because that kid is a legend. I mean,
There's some like old gods of memes that can't
well,
even.
I must consult with the
well,
elder
there's
gods.
the
Like, the
fucking
thing was
Numa
embarrassing.
guy.
But now they deserve full respect.
The fucking Numa guy is.
Oh,
is
man.
an-
So this
is a
What did you just
legend.
call me?
this is tangent the podcast. So if we're gonna go into this rabbit hole, you guys remember Chocolate Rain?
Chocolate rain.
Chocolate Rain.
No.
Others I
You
will
don't
others
remember
take the
that?
pain. Chocolate rain.
What?
Oh man,
What?
that was from the old days, man.
It was a song that this dude came up with.
Yeah, he has like the lowest voice known to man.
He still makes YouTube videos. He does covers of popular songs.
Man, that is so awesome to see people like still thriving. I guess I don't know if
He's one of the
thriving.
I don't know what
first
the fuck you guys are
viral
talking
hits, and
about.
he's actually still making content. Most of those guys don't do anything anymore.
Remember the guy that was talking about the elephant trunks?
No.
The
What are
very
these guys talking
very
about?
first YouTube video.
I don't know what they're on.
Oh yeah, the we went to the zoo or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you
Trying
guys
to,
see
like,
that they
gaslight me into thinking that these things
I
happen.
guess this is part of the news, so I guess this is actually a
don't
really
believe
good
that actually happened.
segue. Did you guys see that under that video, which is like the first ever YouTube video, in the description, they
Mm.
wrote an entire like rant about how stupid YouTube removing the dislike button is? Like they actually went back to that video and redid the comment or redid the description, and it's like this whole thing about how stupid it is and how their reasoning doesn't make sense, and it's only to hide the fact that certain videos of theirs have a whole bunch of dislikes.
Could you imagine going back to old archived stuff, and that's how you make your complaint? Like, oh, I don't like the U.S. government, so I'm going to write on the Constitution all my complaints about the modern.
The archive.
Yeah, like go back into the archives and be like, huh, Articles of Confederation. Let me write my complaints real quick.
I guess it was more like a symbolic message of like the thing that made YouTube, that really helped YouTube get big.
Well, I mean,
Is just
I don't know if the first video helped it get big.
I mean,
but
it was pretty big whenever it came out because you were like, "Oh my god,
You can put videos on the internet.
this is like someone's life. They just went to the zoo and put this up. What is this? Home videos are meant to be for the family, not for everyone." That is crazy though when you really think about it. But yeah, so YouTube did eliminate the dislike button, and I don't really like it. I think it's really dumb, and I think their logic is super flawed because their logic is, oh, people, aren't going to be able to dislike bomb videos anymore and all that shit. It's like, no, they still can because the owner of the YouTube channel can still see how many people have disliked the video. So now it's a more personal thing of people dislike bomb a YouTube video, but now that YouTuber is then suffering in silence because no one knows what they're actually going through at all.
But now the people don't get the satisfaction of dislike bombing someone. They don't get the satisfaction of big down number.
I mean, I
Ooh,
guess.
yes, big downvote on Modern Warfare game.
Not that on Modern Warfare game. Not that I'm like defending YouTube's, instill like creating it. I think that it's just I get what they're trying to do. Like no longer can we ratio videos,
But at the same
But
time,
it's-
there are certain things that you would.
No longer will the masses hold down those who make terrible content.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, a lot of thing everyone's been pointing to is like do it yourself videos, like DIYs. Someone's trying to figure out how to, fix something with their computer or how to build a bookshelf or something like that. If there's a video that does not help you at all, you do not know that instantly from clicking on the video.
okay, if you're on the internet, you know how to do the internet. You know how to participate in the internet.
People
Check the
How do-
comments.
look at-
Matthew, how do you do the internet?
Check the comments. See what they say. Honestly, people just need to start dislike bombing now by just commenting dislike.
Oh, that'd be
wow.
funny.
Yeah, that's the way we need to go, right?
Though I feel
Hmm.
like that's very spammy and could be just as bad.
Exactly.
I think it's
Same goal.
I think it's hilarious whenever like comment sections to me are always like, and this again is to me. I prefer whenever there's actually like real conversation kind of going on. I guess.
I mean, yeah, usually like whenever I go into a comment section, I look at like the first 5 or 6 comments. 'Cause
And
usually
they're
those are pretty
the
consistent.
most upvoted ones, or they're from YouTubers who were real big. But like even talking about going to like Steam, you want like them to tell you about the game that you're trying to buy or whatever. But I think that it would be hilarious to just have those like they're all upvoted and it's all just dislike.
Dislike,
Because
dislike.
even on Steam, there'll be people who are just like, I like the game. I do not like this game. And it's like those are like the heavily upvoted
Game
reviews.
bad.
Game good. Game bad.
You have to remember that you're outnumbered on YouTube by 13
I
year
like
olds.
girls' boobies.
Do you,
Like
Stefano?
5 million upvotes.
I mean that's already a thing that happens, but it doesn't get upvoted.
I mean, I'm sure depending on the type of game, it probably gets upvoted.
Upvote for cake.
Vote
I'm
for
sorry,
cake?
I can't say
Why
that.
did you say that? Why is that the reference you decided
Oh
to go
man,
with?
it's not even a reference anyone else will get. Like that's funny, but no one's gonna understand that one.
You are absolutely awful.
There's a backstory. There's a backstory to the backstory.
Don't tell them the backstory. Just let them wonder what the fuck you're talking about.
I will stay mysterious.
And then next we have
I don't think mysterious people say that.
Facebook trying to no longer be Facebook anymore. What the fuck is this meta bullshit that they're trying to do? I don't buy it. I don't buy this meta thing that they're trying to make.
What they found like the best meta for social networking companies.
I
Did
guess
they?
so.
Like, what's the
There's-
best
they're not-
strategy? What's the best meta?
What's the best meta?
Also, they're calling it the metaverse.
Okay.
And what I'm saying
Oh,
is that they're too
man.
late for this.
This reminded me of something that I forgot to tell you guys. Okay, so I got a little bit of a story. I get emails from this
From
company.
Facebook?
No, not from Facebook. Fuck that shit. I get emails from this company that does. I don't even know what you call it. Like they're trying to get data collection. So like they're trying to get you to do. Man, where am I going with this? I lost it. It's when they ask you a bunch of questions to see how you feel about something. What's that called?
Survey?
A survey. Thank you. Fuck. Oh man, I'm fucking out of my mind. Okay, so there's this
What else
company,
is new?
right? So there's this company that sends me a bunch of surveys, usually about gaming related stuff, and I get paid for it sometimes. Really cool. I'm sure a lot of people know about it because it's such a big thing. But anyway, they sent me one that was like, "Can you do this survey and we'll give you so much money or whatever?" Cool, awesome. And in the survey, they were asking me questions like, "What would you like this? Imagine there's this universe in VR that you could walk around in and like interact with other people, and it's a possibility that you work there, live there, buy things on this in this metaverse, right? But they didn't call it that. They said, what would be the best name for this thing? And they gave me like 5 options, and like 3 of them were like whatever. But the one I thought was the funniest was Metapolis. So like polis, like metropolis, right? But meta, Metapolis.
Metopolis?
Metapolis or Metopolis or whatever you want to call it. And I was just laughing at that because I'm like, that is the laziest. If this is Facebook, and after it said, which one would you prefer? Which one is the worst? It then said, can you describe why you made this one your worst choice? And I put in there because like, I don't care if anyone reads it, but if someone does, I think it'd be funny. So I'm guessing this is a survey for Facebook. I was like, I'm guessing this is for Facebook, and if it is, then that's pretty stupid. Like already people don't like corporate whatever the fuck, and you're just gonna put your corporate name into it. But if it's not for Facebook, then it's just a stupid name to begin with. But I just thought that was hilarious because I'm like looking at this thing, and it was multiple questions before it got to that one, and then I see that one, and I'm like, what the hell? Some corporate dude was like, make it Metapolis.
The thing is that Meta is trying to do shit that already exists. They're just trying to add paywalls to it. It's like I don't need that.
Well, I mean, they want you to do everything inside the metaverse or whatever.
No.
They want you to work and live and buy things and enter the consumerist hell that we're already walking towards.
The fucking digital realm is supposed to be my escape from all that bullshit. Why do I want to go into the digital realm to do it? For what purpose?
I don't know if the digital universe right now is an escape from consumerist behavior because especially with microtransactions, it's kind of
I mean, if I go play VR chat, I don't have to buy anything.
I don't play VR chat. I don't know about that.
You don't have to buy anything. You just play VR chat.
You just play VR chat.
Yeah, you just play.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just play it.
All you have to do is buy the VR headset, which is what you'd need to go
All,
into the
quote,
digital
unquote,
realm anyway.
all you need to do is buy a $400 headset.
Well, that's the only way
All
to get
you
into
need
the
to
digital
do
realm in the first
is
place.
have
It's
a
not made
mega
by the
uber
people who make
computer.
VR chat.
Yeah, it's not made by
You
them.
don't get a VR chat brand VR headset.
And you can play VR chat without
Yet.
the headset.
True.
I'm
that
just
is
waiting
also-
for the
I'm just
VR
talking
chat
about-
brand headset.
Honestly, I prefer the VR chat brand headset because it's better than having Facebook spy machine spyware.
Oh yeah, the Oculus Quest 2 or whatever.
I saw the other day that the Steam, whatever their Oculus thing is called, that one is actually
the Vive.
yeah, that it's the top seller on Steam. At least the day I looked at the other day.
Of course it would be because you're buying it
$1,000.
through Steam.
$1,000. Like who just has $1,000 to blow on that? And I'm pretty sure that's not even like an all-included thing like
Oh,
the
if-
Oculus or the the Oculus is. Because the Oculus one you don't need a computer to run stuff. But I'm pretty sure the Vive you do.
Yeah, I think so.
So it's like already you're gonna buy $1,000 headset and have a $2,000 rig to run it. Holy shit, bro! Like, I'm not. There's obviously people out there that have that kind of money, but in this economy,
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I'm not really a VR person. I think I tried it to play what's it called, Beat Saber. At my
I just want to
cousin's house.
play
It was fun.
Half-Life Alyx if I can. That's honestly the only game I've looked at that I'm like, yeah, that looks really good.
The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners, pretty fire.
I saw videos on it, and I'm not all that impressed. I even watched a video about talking about Half-Life Alyx the other day. I can't remember who it was, but they were talking about how it is very. Oh, I remember what it was. Up Is Not Jump made a video a while back about Half-Life Alyx, and he was talking about how it's sort of hard to get into. Like VR is a hard sell, I think is what he's trying to say, because there's not a lot of like full-scale games. You're not really playing, full scale like Hitman game or even Fallout and Skyrim, although they are big experiences, it is very clunky. Granted, those games are clunky to begin with, but
I've heard
for VR.
Skyrim VR is fun, but that Fallout 4 VR is just a mess and makes no sense.
Also, those games were made well before VR. So he was talking about the idea of making a full scale AAA game like that specifically for VR. And how that is incredibly rare. Usually they're small little indie projects, even if they have big studios behind them. But Half-Life Alyx is the first one that in this video he was talking about, and it's for me as well, the first one to be a sort of giant, massive game from a giant, massive company.
Yeah, the first AAA game to be developed specifically for VR.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's cool. But are more companies going to pick that up?
I mean, that's the question. Probably not. I doubt it.
But Half-Life Alyx looks really cool. I want to play it. Thank you.
Yeah,
I cede my time.
I'm interested in maybe testing out VR chat now that all the weird shit is gone. But at the same time, I feel like the weird shit might have been what made it even more fun. The fucking was it the stupid Ugandan Knuckles thing? That was the big thing for VR chat whenever it first came out.
Yeah, for a while.
I feel like seeing that build
What
up
is
and
the
all the
way?
crazy shit they did with it.
Show me the way.
Yeah, like they had an actual like an actual like flying ship thing that they would drop the Knuckles from and they'd attack the different realms and shit. It was crazy.
I have no idea what you're talking about now.
Oh yeah, like
How deep is this lore of Ugandan Knuckles?
it was pretty big whenever VR chat was first happening.
They-
Now it's mostly just people kind of chilling out, playing games and
They
doing
need to
karaoke.
make a VR chat iceberg video.
Oh, I'm sure the VR chat iceberg exists. And I'm pretty sure something regarding the Ugandan Knuckles is on every single level of that iceberg.
Oh, definitely. And then it's just going deeper and deeper into how far that went. I'm
There
sure.
was there were these like cats. So what you do is you get like a specific cat playing an instrument as your avatar, and they were tiny. And there's this thing that you can activate on VR chat so that your character follows another character around. So what people would do is people who had instruments would there would be one person who was the leader, and they'd be walking around, and everyone else would be following them. And since they wouldn't be playing the game, instead they'd just be playing their instruments in sync with each other, playing songs.
Oh man, they got a marching band in VR
Yeah,
chat.
it ranged from super annoying to genuinely cool.
that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, like VR chat in its prime was like pretty much like the first version of Ready Player One. It was that level. Obviously, you can't feel shit in VR chat and stuff like that, but it was the closest we've ever gotten to what that would be. Like closer than Second Life even.
Got kind of a story piggybacking off of that. So the Longest Johns, the guys who did the Weatherman song that everybody was on about months
Didn't
back,
they like sing sea
They
shanties
did.
in
they have videos where they were playing what's the pirate game?
Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves? Yeah.
They were playing Sea of Thieves, and they had multiple videos, and I watched like a compilation of them, I think. And they were just asking people, "You want to hear a song?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" And it's like, "Okay, well," and like all of them come in, and it's like, "What did I just get into?" I loved that.
Dude, if that happened to me in game, I'd smile so wide.
That's so amazing. I've seen that in the past. There are other people who have played, piano and stuff like that in like Rust from years ago, but just to have a full, I guess, ensemble, like that's not really the right thing. All the parts of a quartet.
Yeah, have a full like
I mean,
acapella group.
Yeah, that's what it is. Acapella. Thank you.
here we go into like a certain status, but it's something that neither of you will kind of know. But so there, in terms of VTubers and stuff like that,
Gross.
because it's all
Gross.
digital, and they don't typically show their real faces and stuff like that. There's no they have to do online concerts and stuff like that. So what some VTubers have done is they've created their avatars in places like VR chat, and they'll do concerts for their fans that way, because that's the closest they can get to, connecting to their fans. Or they'll stream it, so they'll like have this big major concert, and they'll get all the tracking stuff like with the Vive or the Oculus or whatever they wind up getting, and they do their concerts that way. So I mean, even VR chat now is being used for shit like that. So going back to the main topic, I honestly feel like Meta is trying to do something that already exists, and I don't think it'll do it in a better way. And they already have the stench of Facebook on them. It's still Facebook. Like, I don't care what you try to tell me, all these Facebook ads that have Meta in the name, it's still Facebook to me.
It's meta.
Like, I already have that bad taste in my mouth from all the bad shit we've seen them do over the years. Why would I put my trust in this service ever? Like, I just don't see a use for it, because the people who are using Facebook, the older generation who still uses Facebook frequently and is like, yeah, that's where I get my information. That's how I talk to everyone.
You don't trust Lizard Man Zuckerberg?
No, I don't. But all the people who, trust Facebook and use Facebook like that, those are the exact opposite of the people who would use stuff like Meta. You think a 70-year-old is gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna go to the metaverse?
No,
Do
but
you
the
think a
70-year-old
70-year-old
doesn't
would be
care.
like-
The 70-year-old still trusts Facebook. The meta change wasn't for them.
But then who is it for? Because who trusts Meta?
For us, because they're making the VR stuff, so they want to have a different brand so that the next generation who knows of Facebook's bullshit
Oh, that's possible.
might
yeah.
be a bit more it might be a bit more appealing to them that it's under a different name.
It's possible. So they're probably playing the long con 30 years down the line.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Bro,
But, like-
if that's actually what they're doing, if they're really playing fucking like 6D chess over there,
I love how it keeps on going up. Before it was 4D chess, and that was the height, the pinnacle, and now it's
No, it was
5D
40 chess, and then 40 chess actually got made.
So now we have 60 chess.
Yeah, so now we just have to go crazy.
The thing with saying that the old ladies is what you're the old lady. I'm sorry, that was just weird
It
to
was just
say.
old people, not ladies specifically.
The old people who use Facebook regularly and trust Facebook. Do you think they're going out to buy an Oculus?
No, they're not.
Right?
Like who is this for is my question. Now maybe that next group of people, that might be true, but otherwise I really don't see what the point of it is, because they are going to have to fight a bit of a battle in order to win people over, because the people they already have are not the people
Well,
who this is for.
I think Facebook is fine fighting as many battles as it can take.
Probably.
They fight every battle. They die
How
on
many
every
times
hill.
have they been in court?
Exactly. They got their lawyers from Walmart.
But yeah, all I'm trying to say is that VR Chat is a very, very good game, and I would like to play it at some point.
Half-Life Alyx.
Isn't it free? Is it free?
I played it on PC around the first time it came out. I was a part of the Knuckles gang for a bit.
There you
Part
go.
of the Knuckles gang.
It was a gang, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went around beating up the Sonic gang.
Do you know the way?
You just find you find I forget who it was. It might have been like Miku or something that was like the princess.
Oh yeah, so like they always had a random princess, and he's like, "This
And
is the
then
queen."
Anyone who disrespects you or is not a part of the Knuckles gang, you spit on them.
Yeah, you start spitting on them, and then you're like, spit on the non-believers. Yes, the Knuckles meme was one of my favorite things whenever it first fucking came out, and I don't know why. It was just hilarious to me.
I never understood. But I don't understand anything.
That is true.
Anyway.
Moving on. Now we have our rapid fire segment of cool shit that's coming out. And to start out,
Hold on. If you're gonna say rapid fire, I got a question. How quickly do you think you could get through these?
I mean, we can get through it relatively quickly. There's some stuff I gotta say, but
So if I said 5-minute cap?
5-minute cap for everything?
Yeah.
No.
No?
A 10-minute cap.
Okay, 10-minute cap. Go.
Okay, so we have the GTA trilogy came out recently. That was a fucking disaster.
Awful.
It has like a 0.5 on Metacritic at one point. Also, apparently the hot coffee mod is in the game still.
It's a masterpiece.
They also took out the Rocket. The Rockstar launcher went down for a while. They took the games off the Rockstar launcher. Anyway, continue.
So Battlefield 2042 and Call of Duty apparently launched new games, and
Trash.
those were also fucking disasters. Apparently, they released a Peppa Pig game, and that game's like score on Metacritic is higher than the GTA trilogy, Battlefield 2042, and Call of Duty's review scores all combined, which is fucking hilarious.
Call of Duty need to stop.
Yeah, all of them need to stop.
They need to stop. They should have stopped with Battlefield 1. Fight me.
Battlefield 1?
Yeah, the World War I one.
Yeah, the
okay.
one that was called
like the first
yeah.
one.
The one that was called Battlefield and then spelled out one.
Yes,
like
that's the one they should have stopped on. That's the one that I played. I didn't play the other ones till after that one. Anyway, continue.
So Doctor Strange 2 is getting reshoots. They are trying to play it down like it doesn't matter, but it's like 6-7 weeks of reshoots, which is basically how much you need to film an entire movie. Rumor has it, at least from what I've heard, is that they need to reshoot the scenes with Wanda in them because they might have made her a bit too villainous in the movie, and pre-screenings seem to not really like that she's so villainous. They want her to be a bit more, gray.
Benedict Cumberbatch is a gem. Continue.
Benedict Cumberbatch is indeed a gem. This is true. The No Way Home trailer came out. It looks dope. I already have tickets. I know we're going to see it. But they also revealed recently in an interview that not only is Sony going to continue their deal with Marvel in terms of putting Spider-Man in the MCU, they are actually going to do a second Spider-Man trilogy with Tom Holland.
Okay, Andrew Garfield and not Tom Holland. What's the other one?
Tobey Maguire.
Tobey Maguire. Not going to be in the movie. Fight me. Go.
They're definitely going to be in the movie. You're a fucking idiot if you don't think they are.
They don't exist. They never did.
Like Quentin's a fucking idiot.
They were never Spider-Man.
What?
Continue.
They were never
Okay, Dune 2, thanks to the success of Dune 1, is going to get a sequel.
Wasn't it a one-parter? Like it was part 1?
Yeah, it was part 1.
So I figured they were going to do that.
Yeah. Squid Game season 2 got announced. I don't know what season 2 is even gonna be, but
Still never watched first.
I finished the first one. We'll get into that later, but I liked it, is what I'll say for now. They Arcane, the currently biggest show that everyone's talking about, already getting a season 2.
Baller, fire, amazing,
No
beautiful.
thoughts. Head empty.
On the same level, I know we mentioned this in an earlier week that they're doing like a TV series for the Alien series, like the Ridley Scott stuff. They're also making a Blade Runner show.
Whoa! You didn't tell me that one. Alien?
Yeah, we talked about this in an earlier episode. They're doing
Okay,
like an...
get Sigourney Weaver back. Continue.
Okay, yeah. But they're also doing a Blade Runner series. I'm actually really interested in that because I like the world of Blade Runner. Hopefully it's good. They're doing a Halo show on Paramount Plus. There was a teaser that had the fucking bald Master Chief putting on his costume. It was really stupid. I don't know why that was the teaser.
Do something interesting with the flood. Continue.
There was the trailer for Elden Ring. I didn't watch it. Quentin, what'd you think?
Elden Ring looks really fucking cool. I like a lot of the From Software games. I watched Vadi Vidya play the demo, I guess. Continue.
They had Warner Brothers Multiverses because for some reason now that they announced the last character for Smash, fucking fucking Warner Brothers and Nickelodeon have decided to make their own Smash clones now that there's a hole in the space.
They need to make something that is going to feel as good as Smash.
Warner Brothers Multiverses, in that same length, does actually look decent because just watching the Nickelodeon one, it looks very, very clunky. Don't have any interest in playing it.
The problem being that, like, okay, so real quickly, Call of Duty has great shooting, right? Other games can make shooters but still
9,
feel really bad,
8,
even though Call of Duty has
7,
mastered
6,
how to do
5,
shooting,
4,
right? So why
3,
isn't that just
2,
standard? Same thing
1.
with Smash.
There's going to be a Harry Potter reunion at the beginning of the new year. It's going to have the actors who play Harry and Ron, as well as Emma Watson who plays Hermione. I feel bad for not saying Rupert Grint or Daniel Radcliffe's
You
names,
mean
but I'm speeding.
the person who played Belle?
Yeah, she did play Belle. However, the thing of note about this is that J.K. Rowling is not going to be part of the reunion, which is funny as shit to me. Fuck her.
I was trying to think of something else that Emma Watson was in to make another joke. Like, oh, you mean the girl from this other thing? This other thing? But I can't remember anything else she's been in.
She was also in what is it? Perks of Being a Wallflower.
I was gonna say that, but I don't remember her name in it. That's the problem.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I was gonna
character.
say, oh, you mean the chick from? Yeah. Okay, anyway, go.
She was good in that. But yeah, so that's it of our quick section. We have two joking ones that might be a bit quick. Might be a bit fast.
Real quick. I just remembered one. For the speed run. NetherRealm Studios announced that teased that they're going to be coming out with a new game. Hopefully, it's Injustice 3, but it might be another Mortal Kombat. Those of you that like.
Isn't it a bit too soon for another Mortal Kombat? Didn't they release like the expansion to 11 recently?
Well said. Well said.
So
Well
maybe
said.
it is.
So that's
Injustice 3.
That's the end of all the fast news section.
Yeah, we have two more things of news that are jokey.
Oh,
Well, real quick, that was 6 minutes, bro.
There
7
we go.
minutes, something like that.
There we
Good
go.
job. There was no reason to go fast. I thought it would be interesting.
So we had the announcement of the sexiest man alive recently. It was Paul Rudd. Now you can't see it, but Quentin's laughing silently back there.
Who's
I feel like I'd have to
Ant-Man.
cut it out if I
Ant-Man.
just
Ant-Man?
laughed for
Ant-Man.
20
He's
minutes.
also
Ant-Man
in
is
the
the sexiest man alive.
yeah, he's the sexiest man alive. He was also in The Office, and he's in the new Ghostbusters too as well.
Who was in the office?
I don't remember who he was in The Office. All I know is that he was in The Office.
Hold on.
Or maybe he wasn't. He was
the-
either in The Office or he was in Parks and Rec. He
The
was in one of the two.
forever young Paul Rudd. Yes.
Yeah, he was either in Parks and Rec or The Office. I might be getting.
He was
one of
in
those
Parks and Rec. He played the son
Okay.
of the conglomerate that owned a lot of the town.
I was
and he
about
was
to
running
say.
for mayor in a couple episodes.
Yeah, that's
I
who
love
it
that
was.
show. I do remember him in it. And it was funny because he was stupid, but he was nice. And it was funny because he was talking to Leslie one time and he was like, hey, if I don't win, I hope you do. And she's like, yeah, we're the only two candidates. That's how it works. That was a good joke.
But yeah, so Paul Rudd has been voted the sexiest man alive. I think it's fucking hilarious. They did like a whole bit on Stephen Colbert about it, and it was very, very funny. I think Paul Rudd is a really stand-up dude. He's really funny. He seems like a genuinely good guy. I know a lot of people are mad because they're like, Paul Rudd isn't sexy. Fuck you. Sexiest man alive has never fucking mattered once. Just allow this fucking national gem to be given some sort of cred, please.
No.
No, I will
This-
actively fight this.
Who is sexiest man alive then, Matt?
Hold
Me.
on.
And remember, you cannot do repeats. Those aren't allowed. So you can't say
You
Idris
can't-
Elba or whatever.
Do repeats?
No, yeah, it's a new person every year.
Okay, hold on. What's oh god. What's his name?
What is his name?
Deadpool.
Ryan
Ryan
Reynolds? I
Reynolds?
feel like
Ryan
he's
Reynolds.
definitely won.
Prove it.
Prove it.
Before
Amazing
we
I don't
before
feel
we
like
give
looking it up.
before we give even show Paul Rudd the crown, make sure that it's touched Ryan Reynolds' head.
I'm pretty sure he's definitely won before, but if he hasn't, that would surprise me greatly.
I've got nothing else to add.
Master
I
of
wish I did.
Sexiest Man Alive, Quentin, what do you have to say about this?
That Paul Rudd's Sexy Man Alive?
That's
Yeah.
what you have to say?
That I don't know any person that off the top of my head that would win out of him, I guess.
Oh, so he does think Paul Rudd is sexy.
Oh yeah, sexy man. Yeah.
Why'd
No,
you
I
say it
don't-
like that?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
sexy
yeah.
man,
No.
yeah.
I don't
Why
know.
did you say it like that? Why did you
How
have
else
to
do you
this?
say that? Like if you're just talking very generally,
That's
like
the key, you don't.
he is the sexiest man alive. I want to offer the award for sexiest man. Like that's so shitty. Like come on, you gotta be like, oh yeah,
I also like how there's like
Sexiest man.
there's as far as I know there's no like sexiest woman alive because that would be objectifying women. But we're fine objectifying men. We can do that. We can say who's the sexiest man alive. It's very strange to me.
We have America's Next Top Model.
I mean, I guess, but that's like
I don't know. I don't know.
that is true. But that's like a separate thing because that's like that's like its own show versus sexiest man alive is like this big national thing that everyone needs to know.
Okay, I have a question then. Could it be that sexiest man alive is not just physical attraction, but also like brighten your day? Like you're talking about
Well,
Ryan
that's
Reynolds.
why Paul Rudd won. You think he's
Yeah.
actually the sexiest man in Hollywood?
Well, I mean, he got the award.
That's
I was about to say,
definitely not
you
why
just-
he won.
You're doubting. You just use the exact terminology of the award to say that the award doesn't mean that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying like, do you think based off of looks, that's how he won the award?
I mean,
Because I wouldn't say so.
What-
If we're
what-
talking purely on looks, it's probably like Michael B. Jordan or something like that.
Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
Dwayne the Jock Ronson.
The Jock Ronson.
I don't think this ultimately matters. I
Ron
just thought it was
Swanson.
fucking hilarious that Paul
Thank
Rudd.
you, Matthew. Yes, Ron Swanson. But what's his real name? Fuck, I had
can't
it.
remember his name.
I
Yeah.
had it. I watched his special on Netflix. He had a comedy special. It wasn't very funny. It was literally just him like talking for an hour. But I mean, that's a treasure in and of itself, right?
I mean, he's a cool dude.
He seems it. Yeah. He also has a whiskey now. That's cool. Wanna drink the whiskey of Ron Swanson?
He is not Ron Swanson though.
He's not. What is his name? Oh, I'm gonna have to look it up later.
But yeah, I really don't think it matters. I just thought it was fucking funny that Paul Rudd was sexiest man alive.
You said it wrong. Sexiest man alive.
Nick Offerman.
That is
it.
his name.
Nick Offerman.
Nick
Thank
Offerman.
you. Sexiest man alive.
Paul Rudd.
Sexiest man
Catch him in
alive.
his sexiest role, Ant-Man.
Ant-Man.
He did have to like work
Sexiest.
out for that though, which is strange
Sexiest
because
Marvel character.
he doesn't really do that much that requires strength.
Watch him fight. Insert Falcon / Captain America's actor's name.
Anthony Mackie?
Take care of it in post.
Take care of it in post. He's just walking around punching the air. It's like, we'll handle it in post.
I mean,
Has
that is how
Anthony
Marvel
Mackie
movies
won?
work. What?
I feel like we could just go through the list of Marvel protagonists.
characters. So you
Marvel
got
characters.
Chris Evans. You got Chris Hemsworth. You got. I mean, one of them is what, Australian?
That is Chris Hemsworth is the Australian
Well,
one.
is Sexiest Man Alive a national thing or is it global?
I mean, it's typically a global thing because Idris Elba won.
It's
but
awarded by
he's
the UN.
British,
It's
so
awarded by the UN. It's decided upon by every country in a meeting. They all meet up to say who is the sexiest man.
This American.
I mean, yeah, like it's typically an international thing because Idris Elba won.
Do we-
and
do
What
we
he
about
is
have-
Sebastian
British.
Stan?
Sebastian Stan is pretty good.
I'm trying to remember who that is.
That's
Winter
Winter
Soldier.
Soldier.
Oh, I know
Bucky?
that. I know that face. Yeah.
I know that face.
Not anything else, just the face.
You know my face.
Speaking of Marvel
We're
characters,
friends.
and I'm pretty sure this person also won Sexiest Man Alive at some point. Um, because the casting of Mario Jumpman Mario was not enough. For some reason, Hollywood thinks that only one actor exists. And the
Only one
role
does.
of Garfield in, I guess it's going to be some new show that they're doing, or maybe a movie, whatever it is, Garfield that they're doing. Chris Pratt has been cast again, and I don't understand why.
They should have got Bill Murray, right?
Well, Bill Murray was in the first two, but he famously,
As we all know, it was his biggest regret.
yeah, as he famously hated doing those movies.
Yeah, I mean, I heard in a documentary, I think it was a documentary, there was zombies there for some reason, but he said it was his biggest regret right before he died.
Oh yeah, you're talking. Yeah.
I can't remember where I saw that.
Yeah, I get your joke. Though, as from what I can remember, he did the first movie because he wanted to do a movie that he could show his kids.
You can't show your kids Ghostbusters?
Ask for Spy Kids. Oh, I guess Spy Kids 4 already came out. Never mind.
Yeah, they did do Spy Kids
Okay.
4, and it wasn't that good.
Did they?
Yeah, they did. It was like a time travel thing.
Oh no.
It's similar to Sly 4, actually, in a lot of ways. Especially in the disappointment aspect. Then again, I'm not the target
it wasn't
audience,
even
so I
like
guess
it
can't
wasn't
really
like
speak
the
on that.
original kids. It was these two new kids. Where like the daughter
if you
and
did
son
the
of one of
original
the originals.
kids, then they'd be like
They'd be their
20 or
parents.
some shit,
They'd
yeah.
be Antonio
Yeah, but I don't think
Banderas.
they play their parents.
Antonio
though.
Banderas?
I don't
His
even
name?
think they were in that movie. But then again, I don't remember it, so I
Fuck.
could be wrong.
Stefano. What is
Fuck Estefano.
No. What is the guy who played their dad and Zorro, Banderas? What was his first name?
Antonio Banderas.
It is. I was right. Okay, I felt like I was messing up.
Did they bring back? Did you watch the fourth one?
I did not because
Okay.
I
was
mean
gonna ask if
honestly,
they
I
brought back
wasn't that big
Machete.
on Spy Kids when I was a kid, so like the fourth one did not matter to me that
Damn, you
much.
missed all the bangers.
What is? Wait.
What?
Correction. Was the first one the one where they go to the island and
No,
there's like the
no,
fucking volcano?
that is the second one.
I like the
first
second
one.
one.
The
I like
first
the
one.
second
Calm down, Quentin.
Okay.
It's gonna be okay. Breathe.
The first one has the hand people, right?
The second one has the hand people too.
The thumbs.
The thumbs exist. So in the first one, they are turning kids' drawings into their parents.
I wish I could
or
express
turning their parents into the kids'
the
drawings.
manic stare that Quentin is giving as he's
No.
lore dumping.
This is a traumatic experience for me because I watched the second one forever and had no idea what was going on in the beginning because the thumbs are just waved off like, yeah, they exist. Like, you know, the thumbs that exist in life. Yeah, cool. Now, continuing on. And so I was like weirded out because I thought the second Spy Kids movie was the first. Much like the Fallout.
What is with you and not knowing that
like-
sequels
very
to games
similar
are
to the
not
first Fallout 3.
Fallout 3 being the first Fallout, as we all know. So,
What was the other thing that you brought up the other day that we referenced Fallout again? You said it at like the party that we were
I
at.
can't remember. There's a lot.
You have a massive problem with not knowing that sequels are the
don't
sequels.
exist. Everything is the first.
It's almost like an ego thing of like, this is the first that I've seen, therefore
It's the first.
it is the first.
I've not seen anything else besides this one. Therefore, it is the only one.
As I am all that exists, all I experience is all that is.
I have a massive problem with object permanence in the fact that it doesn't exist. If I don't see it, it's not there.
So did you watch the third one and then
No. I watched the second one, and because it had a subtitle like Island of whatever the fuck, Island of Steve Buscemi, that one.
Steve Buscemi was in that.
Yeah, he was. Do you think God? What did he say? Do you think
I think God stays in heaven because he too fears what he's created?
Yes, that one. I remember that. So I watched the second one, thinking it was the first, and had no idea what was going on when they referenced things from the first. Then watched the third one and was like, "There was a second?" Watched the third one, disappointed because that was a trash movie. Okay, can we just agree on that?
No, the fuck?
Okay, so yeah, the third one was bad. Thank you, Matthew.
Somebody come get this man.
It was not the best.
You don't even have any place to talk. You said you didn't watch them.
No. I did watch them. I said I wasn't that big
you
on them.
lied.
I watched the
He's
second one. I'm pretty sure I
lying.
did the same thing Quentin did. I'm just not an ignorant fuck, and I know that sequels are the sequels. So I'm
No.
pretty sure I watched the second one, was like, oh, this is okay, I guess. And then I watched the first one. I'm like, what the fuck? Why?
This is heresy.
I watched the first one after the third and was actually pleasantly surprised because the first one was okay, it was passable, but it was just the weirdest thing in the world that the dude was turning people into drawings.
Floop.
That actor.
Did Disney actually make that movie, or was that a movie that was just published through Disney?
I'd imagine published because I don't remember a Big Disney movie at all. You saying that doesn't ring a bell.
I thought it was.
I don't think it is, but let's say that it's published by them.
I watched all of them on Disney Channel. That's how I saw them.
So, what was that actor's name? Because I only remember the actor.
Oh no, yeah, I don't think it was Disney because I'm pretty sure it was made by the same people who made Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
It is made by the.
Yeah. It's who's it? It was
Shark Boy
directed
and
by.
Lava Girl. I actually saw in theaters with 3D glasses.
That was that Guillermo del Toro?
No.
What?
No.
Don't.
What the fuck?
No. I don't believe if you told me that it was.
Guillermo del Toro did not work on Shark
you.
Boy and Lava Girl. If I'm with Quentin on this. If you tell me Guillermo del Toro worked on Shark Boy and Lava Girl, I won't believe you.
You're telling me the man who made Pan's Labyrinth made Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
And the first Pacific Rim.
No, it's Robert Rodriguez. I don't actually know who that is.
Okay, thank you for showing that you were wrong.
Didn't they make a second Shark Boy and Lava Girl?
Yes, they did, and I hear it was bad. But, okay, going back to what I was going to say. The actor who played the bad guy in the first Spy Kids movie, and he played a good guy in the second Spy Kids movie because he learned his lesson. Cool, I guess. Turning people into drawings is bad. He also was in The Mask 2 as Loki. I don't remember him in anything else, but, like, there's a portion of my brain that is just like, he's the kid movie villain.
His name is Alan Cumming.
He is the kid movie villain.
I'm pretty sure he's a voice actor.
Good for him. But I just remember...
I feel like I've heard that name before.
I just remember seeing him in kids' movies, but I swear there were more than just those three, I guess. Anyone? No one?
No
Bueller?
idea.
Bueller? No?
I don't remember his face, so I can't
I
tell
had
you.
like face blindness for like the largest portion of my
I
life.
haven't
I could
seen
not tell people
any
apart.
of the Spy Kids movie in years. I might actually like them if I go back and
And
watch
you're
them.
gonna trust this guy's opinion. You're gonna listen to him
do
talk
you think
shit
Shark
about
Boy and
Spy
Lava Girl's
3.
on Netflix, right?
Spy Kids 3.
Shark Boy and Lava Girl is on Netflix, right?
Is it?
Because I actually wouldn't mind rewatching those movies because I'm pretty sure they're probably decent. I don't think they make 3 of a movie if
I
they're
can't
not,
even.
decent.
Well, the thing is that they got made because he wanted to make movies for his kids. Like they're
knew
literally
that story.
for his kids.
I knew that story. Even if you told me that was the story
And Shark
Guillermo
Boy
del
and Lava
Toro
Girl has its
told,
flaws, but
I would
it's
not believe
it's
you.
fun.
I could not see Guillermo del Toro making something so...
Oh yeah, there was no way that was Guillermo
whatever
del
you
Toro.
want to use an adjective to describe those movies.
Don't listen to these ludicrous heathens.
Are we done?
I mean, yeah,
Can
we were supposed to be talking about Chris Pratt Garfield, and then we started talking about this.
Okay, Chris Pratt Garfield. I saw a post the other day that I thought was hilarious because it was saying that you wish someone would die or go away or whatever is not insult enough. Because the best insult is to say, I hope one of your favorite characters gets played by Chris Pratt. It's terrifying because it's possible. It can happen.
I just don't get it. Like, what about Chris Pratt says Garfield to you?
What about Chris Pratt says Mario?
Nothing. Like, honestly, the joke thing that everyone was saying where what is it, Trash Man guy? What is his name? The meme, he's like in... Oh, he voiced the Lorax.
Danny DeVito.
Yeah. Everyone was saying Danny DeVito should be Mario instead of Chris Pratt. And honestly, you could have made Danny DeVito both Mario and Garfield. If you wanted someone to play both of those characters, also could have been Danny DeVito.
Just make Danny DeVito Mario. As for Garfield, I don't know, man. Just
Because here's the thing. You have 2 options whenever you do something like this. Either play it straight, which is definitely what they're going to try and do with both of these movies.
play it straight.
Yeah, like just try to make the character the character. But the problem is Chris Pratt is not Mario, and Chris Pratt is not Garfield.
Okay.
His
okay.
voice does not say
So
either
hire
of those.
Mario and hire Garfield to play their
Hire
respective
Yeah.
roles.
Or what you do is you make it more silly. So you do like a Detective Pikachu thing where you have Ryan Reynolds as Pikachu, but that's the joke, is that it's Ryan Reynolds' voice and it's weird.
You said that Chris Pratt. What about Chris Pratt screams Mario? What about Chris Pratt screams Garfield? What about Chris Pratt screams Lego Man?
Well, I mean, he can
He's the-
play dumb really well.
I was about to say,
Damn, dude.
he's pretty close to Lego Man in Parks and Rec.
Yeah, he's pretty close to Emmett.
Maybe. Yeah. Okay. I'll.
Also, Lego Man isn't a pre-established character.
Yeah, so you can make
It's been
that-
around for years.
Yeah, like
Mario.
yeah, you can just play that
Jumpman
character.
Mario, Jumpman,
Like
Mario.
at that point, it's just you're playing a random animated character who fits the archetype of that character the best. It's not who sounds like Garfield. Also, apparently, Chris Pratt tweeted that he will not be using his own voice for the Mario movie.
Who's is he borrowing?
And one of the producers of the Mario movie said, and one of the producers of the
powers through
Mario
that.
movie, one of the producers of the Mario movie said he's not going to be doing an Italian accent. Thank God.
If your
What is his-
Mario isn't doing an Italian accent, why?
I mean, I honestly prefer it this
Are
way
they playing
because
Mario?
I wouldn't want to hear Chris Pratt do.
I don't. Nothing about the current situation is what I would prefer.
I mean, that's fair.
I would prefer they not make a Mario movie over this.
I mean, having thought about it,
Is that just
for
the
a
general
while.
thought? Like, don't make video games into movies.
I mean, turning video games into content has worked a bit more recently. However, I don't think the Mario movie is going to work.
Where?
Arcane, Detective Pikachu, and the Sonic movie.
Arcane isn't a movie.
Well, no,
Oh
I'm.
my god.
I
Getting into
didn't
semantics.
say
Detective
movie.
Pikachu.
I didn't say movie. I said media.
Is Detective Pikachu a game?
It is a game. Detective Pikachu is a game.
Is the movie good?
Yeah, I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Trying to
I don't
find
know if I
something to
trust-
grab onto.
It's,
I don't know if I
it's-
trust the
it's-
opinion of someone who
it's-
doesn't like
it's
Spy
nothing
Kids 3.
special to write home about, but
I
for
don't
fans
know.
of the original property, it went really well.
I don't know. Spy Kids 3 was a gem, and you talk shit about it. I don't know if I can trust that.
I mean, whatever you want to say.
But
Just
I
follow
think
up everything you say with, but your views on Spy Kids 3.
you soiled it now. What was the third thing you said?
I said the Sonic movie.
Okay, I haven't seen it, but I actually haven't heard anything about it. But I just believed that it's good.
Bro,
I don't know if it is.
fucking what's his name as Eggman?
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey is so good in that movie. Again, that movie, like Detective Pikachu, nothing to write home about. It's not like fucking groundbreaking, but for a video game movie to be at least decent is crazy because it's never happened before.
I don't know. My mom really likes those
But that
Tomb Raider
being said,
movies.
something like Pokemon can very easily be translated into a movie because you can just make a movie in the Pokemon world. It's not that fucking hard. Versus what can you do with Mario? Oh, Princess Peach got kidnapped again? What is the arc there?
That's the games.
Yeah, that's just the game. What is the arc there? There's no story there. Like, and again, Chris Pratt doesn't fucking sound like Mario. So what is this? I don't think this is gonna be another exception. I think this is just gonna be the rule of this movie's gonna be dog shit. That being said, I do look forward to Jack Black as Bowser.
I want Willem Dafoe as Waluigi.
Everyone wants Willem Dafoe as Waluigi.
I haven't heard that one. That sounds good.
What do you mean you haven't heard it? You posted the meme in the Discord.
I posted the meme, but I didn't know that was like an actual thing people were bringing up.
Yeah, that's why the meme exists.
That sounds good. That's good.
I feel like he could definitely play like a live action Waluigi.
I feel like he would really be having some fun with it too.
Yeah.
Oh, but also this I just realized.
If not Willem
They
Dafoe,
also announced a spin-off of the Mario movie already. It's a Donkey Kong movie with Seth Rogen because Seth Rogen's Donkey Kong.
if not Willem Dafoe, Jim Carrey could take it
For Waluigi?
for Waluigi.
I think he'd be
It needs
more
to
like
be one
a
of those actors
Wario
that
type.
has fun with their role.
I feel like he'd be more of a Wario. in terms of voice.
Jim Carrey?
Yeah, because he can move his voice in different ways and sound different. I don't think Jim Carrey sounds skinny, you know. I think he could definitely do a
seen
Wario.
Sounds
The Mask?
Skinny? What?
He could definitely do it like a deeper mask type voice for Wario. It'd be
But you
fun.
just have to do the mask voice for Waluigi.
I
Just make it
guess,
Italian.
But I think Willem Dafoe and Jim Carrey as Wario and Waluigi is like is
Power
fire.
duo.
Imagine
That's a
Jim
power
Carrey's
duo.
Waluigi. Imagine just the mask going wah.
No,
Wow.
I don't like that.
There it is.
There it is.
There it is.
Hire me.
I
Quentin
feel like, I
Melo.
feel like his voice for the mask is too deep for Waluigi.
Where?
His
What?
voice is very like masculine.
And now for
like,
my favorite,
and
a Tommy gun. Make that Italian. That's Waluigi.
Oh, well, I guess he does different voices, so I'm thinking about his deeper voice when he's in the mask thing. Like when he goes like this. That's what I was thinking.
Are you thinking about the mask too?
No, no,
Is anyone thinking about the mask?
no.
Not usually.
Also, I don't even think he has
Not
the
actively.
mask on that much in the mask too. It's mostly just the baby and the dog.
I watched a video talking about that, and I hadn't remembered anything from the Mask 2, except for that guy was in it who played Loki.
Alan Cumming.
That guy.
I just remember him fighting the baby in like an epic battle of fucking Toon. What's it called? The Toon Force.
The Toon Force.
I'm just using the Toon Force against each other in just like an epic duel between a baby and a god.
It's so funny how those movies turned out in comparison to what the Mask comics actually are.
Yeah, I heard about that a couple of years ago.
They're so fucking violent.
I watched a video that showed panels from the comic and was like, damn.
Like, Matt, you've watched The Boys, right?
Yeah,
Imagine The Boys, but the Mask is the main character.
that's terrifying.
Yeah, that is what the Mask comics are.
It's like Bill Cipher getting set loose.
Pretty much.
That's what the Mask is.
Yeah,
is it
that's what the
not?
mask
Yeah.
is. Like it explores how terrifying the mask is. Different people get the mask and lose it, so it's multiple people. It's crazy. The comics are really good. I'd recommend them if you are not, squeamish, because there is a lot of blood and violence.
But does the dog put on the mask?
I do think a dog puts on the mask in the comics for like 2 seconds.
Certified gold.
Anyway, I think what we're all trying to say here is that Chris Pratt should be in a Mask reboot. Is what we're all trying to say, right?
Yeah, that would be crazy.
Certified pyrite.
Certified pyrite.
And Seth Rogen should play the dog.
What the fuck? Hire us for casting. Come on.
Hire us for casting.
Come on,
guys.
Hollywood.
It's not like we can do any worse than you fuckers did. Okay?
I don't hate it that much. I mean, it's a shame.
There's
but-
only 2 good casting decisions.
What would that be? Jack Black and what was the other?
I do not mind
Danny
Charlie
DeVito?
Day as Luigi. I think he actually fits as Luigi. a little
Oh,
bit.
you're saying two existing
Yeah,
castings.
yeah.
Is that
No,
right?
we're not
yeah,
talking about
yeah.
Danny DeVito playing in the movie. But,
yeah.
you know.
I think Charlie Day is
I thought you were
decent
saying there were
as
2
Luigi.
good options for Mario.
No. I'm talking about like of the people who they chose to be in that.
I'm talking about Quentin. I
Oh,
thought
okay.
that's what he was saying.
Yeah. So I think Charlie Day as Luigi is decent. And I think Jack Black as Bowser is probably a really bad fit, but he's going to be so much fun. Because I think he can have fun with that.
He has fun in all of his roles, even the ones that are like, I don't think he ever phones anything in. And like even whenever I was watching the Jumanji reboot, like the first one, because I know they made a second, I didn't watch it.
In the first one, he plays the girl,
And
right?
it's so funny because like even though he's an older guy, he is like, oh, I know how to do this. he's a treasure. He's sexiest man alive.
Jack Black?
Jack Black. Yep.
He might just
I'll
be.
stand by that.
He might
Jablinski
just
Games.
be. Well, yeah. So, I guess now we just start talking about what we've been doing. We just start catching up with you guys. Does anyone want to particularly go first?
I will start.
We've already went on 5 million tangents, so it can't possibly get worse, right?
I will take up this burden of being the first to talk about myself. So, it's actually not about myself. It's about everything. So,
Don't believe him.
I remember a couple weeks back I said I was wanting to watch the Cowboy Bebop anime.
No.
before the show came out. And that actually ended up happening. I did watch the anime like a week or two before the show came out, the live action one. And I did like it. And I can't say a whole lot about it because somebody wants to watch it.
I
So
do want to watch it because I have never seen it.
I will say that whenever the trailers for the live action were coming out, I was like, that looks pretty interesting. That looks, very, very upbeat and happy and stuff, whatever, cool, actiony stuff. Then I watched the original, the anime, and I was like, yeah, no, that's not how that works. Because the original, the way I described it is melancholy. And I like that. I think that's totally fine. But I even told Stefano, I don't think Netflix particularly likes the idea of making anything melancholy.
To which I point at Squid Game.
Yeah,
Arcane.
You brought up a few other.
Oh, is
things.
Arcane melancholy or serious?
Yes.
I think there's a difference
very
between
few-
being self-serious and melancholy. Like that's
Well, I said or like to differentiate.
okay. I thought you were equating the two.
No.
I would say yes.
Melancholy or serious?
Both.
Well, okay, it's possible. But the thing is, with the original, the anime, it's very melancholy. It's very like there's a story being told through subtext, not just this is where our people are walking and going and doing things. There's more that's trying to tell you about life and stuff. I'm not trying to get too much into it, but anyway, the live action then came out and I watched it, and I don't think it believes in anything. There's no overarching story that it's telling outside of guy doing thing. There's nothing it's trying to get across of like this is the way that life should be lived, or these are the way you should go through life.
The themes are missing.
There's no real themes to it outside of comedy, action.
The soul of the show is kind of gone.
It's gone.
Yeah.
And the ending, although the ending was
I'm not saying this because I know this. Like I said, I haven't seen it either. I'm just trying to interpret it.
So the ending of that is at the end of the first season of the live action. It's the ending of the middle of the anime, because in the anime, after like 10 episodes, there's like a quote unquote ending, but then there's more. And I actually looked up why that is. It's because of Japan didn't want to air a lot of it, so it actually was supposed to be an ending because they weren't going to air the rest of it. Anyway, there's sort of an ending there, and they play on that with the ending of season 1 for the live action. But they did not earn any of the moments that were supposed to be there. One of the biggest things that annoyed me was the end of the first episode of the anime. There's a part where this chick's there. There's a reason for all this stuff happening, and she says, "See you, Space Cowboy," and that's supposed to be like a gut-wrenching thing. And then the whole thing cuts to black, and at the bottom there's words saying, "See you, Space Cowboy." And then every episode ends, "See you, Space Cowboy," or there's a few other ones they use. The live action has the same moment occur with the chick there. She's about to die. She does not say that. The whole thing that happens at the end of the anime doesn't even happen at the end of the show. Totally fine with that. I don't care about that so much. But then it cuts to black and says, "See you, Space Cowboy." Which there's no feeling behind those words for the live action. Taking the live action as its own thing, not comparing it. What do those words mean?
Well, I mean, they mean nothing, yeah.
They mean absolutely nothing. They're there just for homage, and there's no soul behind it.
I've wanted to go into this just because I wanted to do a bit of an experiment just with myself, and I wanted to kind of watch the shows in reverse. I wanted to watch the live action, and I wanted to watch the original show. Which now that I know, I didn't know that it was only half of the first season.
Well, it's not the whole story of the anime. No.
Yeah, so I didn't know that, so I think it might be a bit better, because it won't ruin everything for me, because there'll be stuff I still haven't seen in the anime. However, I do feel like something like that might make the anime a bit less impactful. So I'm still debating whether or not I want to do my little experiment, because I think it'd be interesting to see the things in reverse. I don't know if we mentioned it when we were talking about nostalgic stuff that I watched, or I watched the original Percy Jackson movie before I started reading the books. I think I might have, but that didn't ruin the book for me at all. If anything, it just ruined the movie because I'm like, oh yeah, this is trash. This isn't as good as I like. Like I kind of enjoyed that movie when I watched it, having never read the book, and then after reading the book, I'm like, yeah, that movie's trash. I never want to watch it again. So I don't necessarily know if that'll be the same or if perhaps the live action might harm the anime. I'm kind of curious what that experience would be. However, if I do that test and it harms the anime, then that would be unfortunate for me because I don't get that experience.
I don't think it will. You have my full support for what you're wanting to do, but I will say that they are totally different atmospheres. You're gonna watch the anime or the live action, and then you're gonna be like, oh yeah, upbeat, whatever. And then you're gonna watch the anime and be like, this is very different. Like even the feel of, and it's not even a situation where like the lighting's so different or anything like that. It is the way the shots are done, where they decide to linger on certain places. Obviously, we talked about the Dutch angle. That's not a big thing in the anime. I don't think they do that at all, actually. But there are things that were done in the live action that are just straight up homage, which I don't have a problem with homage in general. But they don't have the reasoning. There's no reason to do those things if you take it as itself.
Yeah, that makes sense. I just thought it would be interesting. Also, I do genuinely just want to watch the live action out of curiosity, and also I'm a big fan of some of those actors. The actor who
The actors are
plays,
great.
yeah, the actor who plays Spike Spiegel, I'm a very big fan of.
I've watched a bunch of videos talking about the live action, and it annoys me that everyone keeps bringing up the Spike Spiegel, John
Lennon.
Cho, right?
Yeah, I believe
Yeah.
that is his name.
People keep bringing him up because of his age, and they're like, he's old, he's 50 years old. It's like, okay, I don't really give a fuck because the story of Spike Spiegel isn't necessarily specific to being young. I understand people saying that it kind of helps the character, but his whole arc in the anime really has nothing to do with his age. I don't think, straight up.
Also, he doesn't look super old.
He
to
doesn't.
me.
He looks very good for his age. But the thing is, I don't have a problem with any of the actors. Honestly, I think all the actors are amazing actors, but they were given so little to work with. It is
I
so trash what the writers did.
if you wanted to talk about one other thing, I know I've heard a lot about how the villain is done and the live action is very very bad.
I don't know about that one because I've seen people talk about, yeah, okay, straight up, yes, I do think that they did too much with him. And the mystery of that character in the anime is a lot better in the way that they did it. But I've I've seen people talk about how the actor's bad, and I kind of agree. Like I know I just said the actors are amazing. I do think that the person who plays Vicious, I don't know if he's a bad actor. I haven't seen him in anything else. The other actors, like you can tell, they care so much, and they're putting their all into it, and they're not doing it so much where it's overacting. They're just straight up like the character, and they're very good at doing that, at playing the character that they're given. I think either Vicious was given a very stilted character or the actor is bad. I don't think the actor is bad though because there is passion there. You can see it. You can see he has passion. But I don't know if he's stilted or if the acting is or the writing is making him stilted.
That is fair. That is fair.
So I can't say anything on him, but I am more closely in line with people who hate it. Whenever they say that the actors are bad, I agree somewhat with the Vicious actor. However, everyone else, they're all wrong. They are awfully wrong because those actors are amazing at acting. They're great.
Matt, did you ever watch the original Cowboy Bebop? I don't think you've watched the live action.
A long time ago, yeah. That was a part of my childhood. That, Naruto, basically all the Toonami things except
Is that
Bleach.
why you haven't watched the live action? Because you just don't.
I mean, yeah, but also it just nothing I've seen from it has interested me. And you know the way I watch shows, I don't watch a show until I see something that
Interest you.
grabs my attention, and then I speed through it.
Matthew, do you have anything that you've been doing that you wanted to mention?
I mean, the usual. I've been playing Fire Emblem still, doing a lot of the Verdant Wind routes, which are the ones where you team up with the Golden Deer House, which is just the coolest house of the three houses. I've been watching a lot of Arcane. I watched Arcane, fell in love with it. I've been obsessed with it, watching episodes over and over again.
I do intend to watch that at some point.
It put Imagine Dragons on my playlist. Even though I
Really?
don't think that they've been on my playlist for a while.
I'm surprised because they have music everywhere. at least a couple years back, their music was everywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
and
just
then they kind of fell off
they
the
had
map.
songs that were fun to listen to at the time, but they never really grabbed me. You know.
I was watching, I think it was Todd in the Shadows. I don't know if you watch that YouTuber.
No
I
idea.
do.
It was funny because he has a few videos, I believe, where he talks about Imagine Dragons. He hates them. He always brings up how their music is very mainstream and commercial, and that's why it's played in commercials.
Yeah.
And it's like, I get that. I 100% get that. But it's catchy. And I guess that's what commercial music is. It's
Well,
supposed to be catchy.
I think that the main reason why, well, the song has like the scenes that have the song in it have attracted my attention. It has JID who in it. Yeah, it's pretty fire. But other than that, like I don't know, Imagine Dragons just doesn't. They make songs that are they're good radio songs.
Exactly.
If I don't have a choice of what's playing, they're fun to listen to.
Yeah, I don't think that I did have their songs on my playlist back in what 2015, 2013, whenever they were big. I had some of their songs on my playlist, but then whenever my playlist like got deleted because I changed phones over and didn't have cloud, whatever. Whenever I was making my playlist again, I saw that their music was like on my playlist, but I was like, no, I don't think I want to download it. So I never went back to listening to their stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of what I went through because I used to listen to like the what was it? The one that like the music video was like fighting stuff pets or whatever. I don't remember. Radioactive.
Yeah, I was
I
about
listened
to
to Radioactive a lot.
I was like, waking up, ash and dust.
I'm done. Sweat my rust.
Yeah. I was gonna like go through the whole
I'm
thing and be like,
breathing
where do they
in
say it?
the chemicals.
But yeah, Arcane's. Yeah, Arcane's very good.
Probably sounded really bad.
That probably did. I'm gonna have to do a lot of editing work for that.
We'll see.
You can just cut that part out.
I believe in
bad.
you. It got me into like a bit of the lore of League of Legends, and it really is trying to get me to play League of Legends. Like I think like Riot has come out with like 4 or 5 different games over like the past month.
Yeah,
seems
they
like.
had a
because what
huge
they've
push.
been what they've been doing is they've been doing like League of Legends story games that are like really small,
Yeah.
kind of story based, like
I'm not against that. Like
minor games.
I don't know if I've said it on this podcast before. I feel like I have because I'm a big proponent of it. The idea of taking your game worlds and making totally different things about it.
Yeah, I think you have.
Yeah, like Halo doesn't have to just be a shooter. You know, I was talking to Matthew forever ago about what if Destiny, they made a separate game for Destiny where you're playing as a regular person living in the last city. Like I don't know what that would be like. Say
cool.
It's a survival game where you're not even in the last city, you're trying to get to it.
Yeah.
And you're going in and having to, you know, avoid the fall and stuff like that. I think that's amazing. The idea that you have these massive worlds that you've created that you have thousands of years of history for.
That you can show different perspectives on.
Yeah, there's so many different people. There's so many different perspectives to have. And you're sitting here stuck with just the super light guy.
Or you could do what's it called? Like an XCOM style strategy game for it or something like that.
Yeah, and I just think like there's so much you can do, and especially with games that have a lot of lore like that, because of League has always had a lot of backstory to it. Not that everybody wanted to look into it, but if you wanted to, it was there. So I don't understand why a lot of companies aren't doing that sort of thing, and maybe that's the next wave of games we're going to get, is a bunch of companies being like, you know what? We have all these stories. Why not?
Could you imagine one where you're playing as like Zavala when he's first resurrected?
Bro, yeah, you have that little intro sequence that they did a while back.
And you like don't know how to use the light as well.
There's one company that does do that.
Does do
Nintendo. Nintendo does that all the time with the Mario series. I guess it's not technically Nintendo, but Pocket Monsters Inc. has had 5 million spin-off Pokemon games that are all different, from multiple different types of fighting games to strategy games to card games to like they've had so much variety. Just look at all the Mario games you have, like racing, you have Mario Party, you have Mario and Rabbids.
Well, I'm not even saying like because those are totally different. The main Mario games, granted, I don't think there's a lot of lore. I mean, I could be wrong.
I mean, in the Mario RPGs there is.
But say you're talking about the main Mario games, the regular Mario, Jumpman Mario, Mario 64, right? Those games
voiced by Chris Pratt.
Right? So that game doesn't really have anything to do with racing.
No.
I'm not talking about making separate games that just put our characters into different
Oh
scenarios
no,
they
no,
never
yeah.
be
I'm
in.
just saying, as an example, Nintendo has kind of been doing that, just in less of a, oh, this is in the world sense, and more like,
Just other
yeah,
things.
yeah. We can take our IP and we can do whatever the fuck we want
Yeah,
with it.
I prefer if you just give different perspectives on the same exact thing that you already had. Say it's if you're gonna do that for Mario, which would be weird, but say you do, you're Mario, but you're a Toad.
That'd be fun.
You're one of the Toads that's there whenever Bowser comes in with a pirate ship and cannons, and you have to defend the Mushroom Kingdom before Mario shows up or
I
something.
mean, as an example, you have the like
Captain
mining Toad, Captain Toad, yeah,
Yeah,
things
yes.
like that, where it's like other things are happening in this world.
Yes, and I think that shows that the world is very lived in, and especially games that already have all this lore built. They already have thousands of years of history. Why not show us any of that? And especially, I like the idea of the different perspectives. Yeah, okay. In Destiny, why not show us someone who has none of those powers? Make it like if we're gonna do the you're out of the last city trying to get to the last city. What if there was a game like Alien, but it's Fallen?
Yo, that'd be terrifying.
Because of the Fallen would be terrifying. They're fucking a foot taller than everybody.
You could do. I mean, if we're talking Alien, Hive,
I was gonna say, yeah. Could you
venturing on
imagine
the
a
moon,
knight? Could you imagine being a normal everyday person and you see the knight coming
trying to
towards
get
you?
a ship and escape the moon with the entire hive on there.
Yeah, like that would be. Oh man, now we're just spitballing here. What if they showed us what happened whenever
For all of you
the
people
Hive
who
took over
don't
the
know
moon?
anything about Destiny, I'm with you. I have
There's
no
that.
clue what they're
You could have
talking about.
Titan with Zol showing up.
Oh my god, there's so much you can do with that. Like all games that have massive things, like what they did with Halo and Halo Wars. Different game, different thing going on, but it's big battles that take place in the universe.
Yeah, that'd be cool. But yeah, so watch Arcane. Great, gorgeous. Although it is one of my sacred things.
Star
So
Wars kind of did it too.
don't tell me your opinion, but definitely discuss with other people your opinion.
Yeah, like Star Wars also did a lot of that back when they were actually making a lot of Star Wars
Yeah,
games.
I loved Star Wars. Fuck, what was it called?
Force Unleashed.
Empire at War.
The hell?
Force Unleashed is good too, but yeah, Empire at War is a strategy game like Command and Conquer, but it's Star Wars, and they even had a DLC where you get to play as a bounty hunter faction, and you have to go against the Hutts and all that shit. It's great. It's great.
I mean, you have like the Old Republic, which is so awesome. You get to like experience the era before the current era of Star Wars.
You have the original Battlefront 2.
Knights of the Old Republic. They really just, it's so expansive. I mean, Clone Wars, you get to see a lot of the clones' perspective on stuff. But although I think that's kind of different from games as a whole.
Well, I'm
just in
still
terms of-
talking about the games that they made for that space specifically.
Well, yeah,
So
but I mean,
guess
Star Wars didn't start as a game.
Oh yeah.
I'm just saying you could do all that. I don't want to be on this too long, but like, yeah, developers do that.
Yeah, I think it's really cool that, what are they called?
What are they called?
The people who make League of Legends.
Riot?
Yeah, I know that there's been some
Tencent?
controversies with Riot in the past, but I think what they've been doing to expand League and kind of make it more accessible to people who do not care about that sort of game, I think that's really cool. I'm also really excited to watch the show. I've heard so many good things. Uh, there's
It's
actually
gorgeous.
there's actually a reference to the show Arcane in Hawkeye, because Haley Steinfeld, who plays Kate Bishop in the show, I know you haven't seen episode 3 yet, but there's a joke involving Imagine Dragons in the 3rd episode, and Haley Steinfeld requested to make that reference just because she was also doing stuff with Imagine Dragons for the show. So it's a subtle little nod since they came out
Oh,
at the same time.
That reminds me.
She
Imagine
actually
Dragons.
said it on Twitter, so it's confirmed.
Imagine Dragons is canonically in Runeterra, by the way.
Yeah, they like play characters from what I've heard.
Okay, that's pretty interesting.
And lastly, I've been watching Demon Slayer. I know I'm a bit behind regarding it, but I
Is
just
it
started
good?
watching it about halfway through the season. It is pretty good. I'm enjoying it.
I know that's like the new big anime.
There's some debate as to who the new next big three is. It's a little bit ambiguous,
I mean,
but
MHA is probably on there. I know your feelings about MHA, but in terms of how big it is currently,
my feelings.
yeah, that you don't typically like it because you like your villains, and My Hero
Oh
Academia doesn't
yeah,
have its.
yeah. Although I do think it is probably up there in the big three.
Oh yeah, it's definitely. I think with how much people love it, like I'll see. I work at a school. I see so many kids with MHA shit. It just reminds me of the people who had Naruto and Goku stuff
Yeah,
in school. I feel like Attack on Titan had the potential to be that, but it definitely fell off.
it's kind of carved out its own place at this point. It's
Yeah,
like
it's
a
in its own little
Eren
space.
Yeager
Plus, it's
cult.
ending anyway.
If Hunter x Hunter continues, please God, I feel like it could take that place, but
Has the
we'll see.
manga ended?
No.
Okay.
Well, I don't know if the manga itself has ended, but there's plenty of content for the show to continue.
Okay. I mean, there's quite a bit of stuff that I've been doing. Though, first of all, Quentin and I can talk about this together. Last episode, I mentioned that we were going to go see the Venom movie.
Trash.
Because of the end credit scene, which I mean, at
Awful.
this point, I'm pretty sure Venom's been out of theaters, and I don't really care. So minor spoiler about what the end credit scene is. Venom is in the MCU now. He's gonna be in No Way Home. That's the only reason I watched that fucking movie was just to see what the end credit scene was because I knew it involved that. Um, no, I don't have any major regrets because the movie wasn't the worst thing ever. It at least kept me entertained for an extended period of time.
Awful movie.
But yeah, it's not that good. Matt, have I told you about the scene with the computer in Venom 2?
The scene with the computer?
That's
Okay.
ambiguous.
No, I'm keeping it ambiguous because if I told him, he'd know what that meant. But I guess I haven't. So there is a scene, right? Okay, so the main crux of um uh Cletus Cassidy or whatever the fuck his name is, his motivation separate from Carnage is that his girlfriend, Scream or whatever the fuck her name is, the chick who shouts.
Yeah.
He was in love with her. She got taken away from him because he had powers. He's trying to find her. He gets the Carnage symbiote. Now he has the means to go find her, but he doesn't know where she is. So he has to figure out where he is at this one scene in the movie. He's stolen a car, so he goes to a gas station. He walks into the gas station, fucking beats up the guy at the desk. The guy at the desk has a computer, and he's like, okay, I need to figure out where my girlfriend is. So he gets the Carnage symbiote to stick itself into the computer, and by doing so, hacks into the US government database to figure out where his girlfriend is.
As you do.
What?
That is something that actually happens in this movie.
There's a lot that happens in this movie.
There is so, like...
All I've heard about this movie is that it's pretty gay.
Oh, it's definitely kind of gay. It's kind of gay, and it's really, like... The only thing that works in this movie is the same only thing that worked in the first movie, which is the relationship between Venom and Eddie. And even then, they are separated for the first 2/3 of the movie. So what's the point of what we're doing here?
I mean, what's a romantic movie if they're already together?
No, there was somebody after we watched it. Okay, I'm going to preface this by saying you can like whatever movie you want. You know, everything is subjective. No shame in liking movies that other people don't like. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's the way I view it. But I'm going to say on a personal note, somebody on a Discord server I'm on came back from watching that movie and said it's the best movie they've ever seen. And I had such a visceral reaction to that I was like, I don't know if you should be allowed to watch movies anymore. Just if that's the way you saw it, I don't know if you should be allowed to.
Yeah, I don't know. There's so much like that computer scene is definitely the dumbest scene in the movie, but there's so much other stuff. Apparently, Venom has a photographic memory, so
Oh yeah, he
yes.
draws up the entire thing.
So Eddie Brock is trying to, because he's down on his luck. He doesn't have like a good report thing ever since the last movie. Like his career's over. He's trying to use Cletus Cassidy to figure out where all the bodies that he buried because he was a serial killer. He's trying to figure out where they are so that way he can make that and he can get back on top. He can be the number one person in the journalist
If
industry.
Cletus Cassidy is Carnage, I've
Yeah.
got a better story for you, Eddie Brock.
Well, he's not Carnage yet, but yeah. So
He's not Carnage yet.
yeah, so what happens is
He was Carnage in what?
yeah. So what he does is he bites Eddie's finger, and then the blood comes off with some.
Oh,
of the
you mean at this
symbiote.
moment in the movie?
Oh yeah. At this moment in the
I
movie,
thought
he's
you were
not
saying
Carnage
he's
yet.
not Carnage yet.
No, yeah. He is Carnage. He's just not
I was
Carnage
about to
at this
lose
moment in
my
the movie.
mind.
Yeah. So he's trying to figure out where the bodies are so that he can, be number one reporter again. And so he's like interviewing him, and Cletus doesn't give him any information really. He just gives him puzzles because he wants him to be his friend so he can try and find his girlfriend and all this shit.
I love the Batman movie.
Yeah. So he turns around and is about to leave, and then Venom goes like, "Eddie," and he's like, "What the fuck do you want?" And he's like, "Look at the fucking cage. You like look at his jail cell." Because he was outside of a jail cell and in like a containment unit, so he didn't attack Eddie. But he's like, look at his actual jail cell. He's like, okay, I guess. And he sees all these pictures on the wall, but doesn't like think about them. He gets back to the house, and Venom is like, okay, we need this information. And Eddie's like, how? And he gets Eddie, puts pieces of paper on the table, takes control of Eddie, and draws everything he saw on the wall in seconds. Like you see the fucking cartoon super fast hands moving as he's drawing. And then all of a sudden, all of the pictures from the wall are on the piece of paper. There is so much dumb shit in this movie.
Best
Anybody
movie ever
seen
made,
the
apparently.
iRobot movie?
No.
I've seen iRobot, yeah.
You know the scene where the robot draws his dream. That's what I envisioned.
I don't remember that.
Remember, he's like you see that the guy standing on the hill. That's you. Whatever Will Smith's character's name was.
That's
you, detective.
whatever Will Smith's character was.
Listen, Will Smith, this is who you are.
He draws the scene of when the robots break out of the shipping containers. Golden Gate Bridge.
I'm gonna tell you.
Psycho Mantis.
I'm gonna tell you real quick. What I remember from that movie is Will Smith going into a house, and then it gets like destroyed by an automated like excavator, which makes no sense.
You remembered that part?
I remember that.
You remember? You remember it?
I remember he went into a house and was like looking around, and then it was like, "Oh, excavator's gonna destroy the house now." Like, okay,
Is that?
yeah,
That's the action scene you remember
that's the movie.
in the Robots Gone Mad movie?
That's that's the whole movie, right? You just excavator destroys a mansion, right?
Oh my god!
That's what happened, right? I don't remember that movie for shit.
And
Yeah,
yet
but,
he
like-
and yet he vividly remembers Burgermeister Meisterburger.
There's
Yeah,
a scene in that.
you would.
There's a scene in that movie where they're like in this area that has like a dome window around it, right?
Okay.
And an army of robots climbs the wall to encompass it.
Okay.
Like the moon or the sun or whatever time of day it was gets eclipsed by robots
Okay.
about to bust the glass.
Yep.
And you remember the little excavator.
Yeah. I'm sure that happened. That sounds like a good movie.
Oh my god.
It sounds pretty good. They should make a movie about that.
Anyway, yeah, Venom 2 is not that good of a movie.
It's like, yeah, the Iron Man thing. I remember I don't remember much about that first Iron Man movie. I remember there being like a car and Iron Man taking a selfie and then a bomb explodes. Like, sure, that's an action scene, but of the memorable action scenes.
I remember that part where he walked up and like paralyzed Tony. That's about it. That was the movie.
I remember
right?
when all those like bad guys died off screen.
Yeah.
Remember that part?
Yeah. That's what happened in that movie, right?
I forgot that scene existed until you said it. Is the thing.
And I forgot
Quentin
your scene
remembers the
existed.
strangest fucking things, dude.
I have a very good memory for select things.
Unfortunately, those select things usually are not the things you should be remembering.
No, I was talking to one of our friends. I helped get her keys out of her car one time when her car broke down, and it was one of those cars that like jams your key into the lock or whatever. You can't get your keys out for whatever fucking reason. Car companies decide to do that. And I was telling her, I was like, "Oh, I remember that day." And I was like, "Yeah, we went over there, and I did the thing with the gear shift to take the keys out of the car, and we went to the front of the car, and I was like trying to get the battery to work and all that stuff." And she's like, "You remember that day a lot more than I do." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's just how it is. I remember random stuff, like an excavator destroying a mansion."
Moving on from that, I think like 2 or so weeks later, I wound up watching the newest Marvel movie, Eternals. I'm not going to put this in recommendations because this is a very divisive movie, I guess. Not so much like socially. I mean, there is a little bit of that because gay character, so obviously that's going to have its own arguments. But besides that, it's just very much a lot of people didn't like this movie, a lot of people did like this movie. Uh, I'm very much in the middle, but I'm leaning towards like it? Question mark. I feel like part of this is me feeling like sometimes this isn't all the time, but sometimes I do feel like I'm wrong whenever there's such a massive group of people that have this opinion about
I
something
thought
and
you
I
were
have
gonna
the
stop
opposite
there. Like
opinion.
sometimes I feel like I'm wrong.
No.
Really?
Sometimes I feel like, whenever a whole group of people don't like something and then I like it, I feel like, oh, instantly I'm wrong. Like my opinion is null and void. Though in this case, I'm not the only one who likes this movie. However, I do have a lot of issues with this movie. I think a lot of the characters switch their motivations on a fucking dime, and it is so irritating. It is like, why? Why did you do any of this? And then you go back on it, and then you go back on that decision you just made. Or some characters decide to just leave the movie at some points. They're just like, nah, I can't do this anymore. Bye. And then show back up later. It's like, ah, nah, I'm not interested in this event. Like it doesn't matter to me. When this is you can kind of see it in the trailers. This is a world-ending thing. All of you
This is
live
an Avengers level threat.
like all of you live on this planet. What do you mean none of it affects you? What the? It's so strange. That being said, there are a lot of good things in this movie. I do think a good amount of the performances are very, very well done. There's a character named Makari. For one, she is the first deaf character in the MCU, which was then followed by there's a lot of like deaf representation in the new Hawkeye show, which is really, really cool to see. But she's the first deaf character in the MCU. She has super speed, which is like Flash-like powers. This is, I'm going to say this now. This is the best representation of super speed I've ever seen in anything, period. It is phenomenal. There is a fight sequence with her and another character who I won't get into, but it is so awesome how they show her super speed. It's a lot of people represent super speed by doing slow motion, and so it's like the world is in slow motion and the dude who's super fast is also in slow motion but just barely faster. Like that scene in Justice League where he's in slow motion running and then Superman turns his head.
Yeah.
But in this one, she is at normal speed. Everything else is in slow motion, and it's so cool. That effect I loved. I think the gay character that they have in that movie, beyond being good representation and not forcing it too much, I think they do it very subtly and very respectfully. That's good. But just him as a character in general, I love him. He's super sassy. He's the black guy in the trailers. He's super sassy and he's an inventor and he's really really fun. So with all of that, conflict I have if I really like the characters and the story's kind of all right, but at the same time I have my issues with the movie. I don't really know whether or not to recommend it. If you are super into the MCU, go ahead. if you're interested in something like that, go ahead. But if you're on the fence, I definitely say just wait for Disney Plus, honestly.
I'd like to just a way to work it into every episode if we can, I guess. So I think a really cool display of super speed was in Megamind.
Oh my god.
Uh, what's his name? Metro Man. Yeah, Metro Man. Whenever he's having his whole midlife crisis and he's walking around and everyone else is just stopped.
Yeah.
That was really cool. That's a good movie. Watch that.
But yeah, so I did watch Eternals. The last singular thing I did, because there's a couple things that we'll get into that we've been doing all together. I played the Guardians of the Galaxy game that came out recently. It is honestly at this point I have not played every single game that came out this year, and I haven't played all of the games that have are in contention for the proper stuff for the Game Awards next that are next week from when we're recording this. I think Guardians of the Galaxy is currently my game of the year. I very much enjoyed that game. I liked all the characters. I thought it was very comic accurate. I thought they gave the characters a lot of depth. I really like the Marvel movies. I think, especially the second one, gives a lot of those characters interesting ways to shine, especially Rocket. But the game, I think, really, really did a lot of cool stuff. They made Mantis more accurate to the comics, which, if you watch the MCU and you look at Mantis in this game, you're gonna be like, "What is this?" Because she's so much different here. I really enjoyed it. The gameplay is nothing necessarily to write home about, but the story itself was a lot of fun. I enjoyed myself all the way through. It was a great sit. Um,
That actually reminds me. I've also been playing some Far Cry 6 lately. That's been pretty fun. Honestly, I fucks heavy with the game. I know that a lot of people who've been playing like every Far Cry are tired of the formula, but I played 3 and haven't played any of the ones since. So to jump into Far Cry 6, it was it's a lot of fun so far.
Oh, Far Cry 6 is really good. I love Far Cry 3. It's pretty good. It's great. I like Far Cry 4.
You like all 3 of them?
his joke is that they're all the same game.
Is that does this shriveling animal speak for you?
It- they I do like the Ubisoft game. The one that they make. Yeah.
Rainbow Six?
Yeah.
The Division?
Yeah.
Not the Division.
For Honor?
Yeah. The one that they make. No, like the Ubisoft game, the open world, activate everything on the map, grab all of the items, kill all the people.
You
The
just
Ubisoft
described
game.
every
That is
open
the
world
point. That's
game.
the point.
That's the joke.
That's the
I
point.
know, every open world game.
I don't know, man.
That is also the point.
I don't know, man. It's
You're the
something.
point.
I stopped playing Horizon Zero Dawn whenever they activated the whole map because I saw the whole map and it just gave me all the Assassin's Creed vibes, and I was like, no.
It feels very different though.
And you tell me that, and I do need to continue to play it. But that's what happened was I played the tutorial, finally got to leave the main area, open up the map, and then just shut the game down. I was like, I can't do this. There's a mood you have to be in to play the Ubisoft game.
I did like Horizon Zero Dawn. I still have yet to beat it.
Did
so
Ubisoft make Horizon Zero Dawn?
No,
No,
but
Oh,
no.
okay.
He's
I was
just
about
saying
to
it's the
say.
formula. It's the formula.
I almost had like a world shattering moment.
It's
Like,
the
there's no way they made
formula
something
'cause,
that good.
Assassin's Creed 2 and then everything after Assassin's Creed 2 probably wasn't the first one that did it, but like Assassin's Creed 2 was massive, and then everything after that started doing the fucking go to this location and you unlock a section of the map and all the unlockables in that
it
map.
can be done well. And like I said, there's got to be a mood you're in. I don't hate Assassin's Creed. I actually really love Assassin's Creed, but like I have to be in a
Brotherhood's
mood.
great.
I have to be in a mood to play Assassin's Creed, and even the ones that I do play tend to be Assassin's Creed 2, Brotherhood, 4.
Revelations.
Well, 4 is completely different. 'Cause
4 is something else, man. There's so much more to it, but still, it's map, find location, grab item. What was that?
That's the eagle.
Oh, okay. That's the hawk that they.
I don't know if the mic will handle that well, but that was the eagle's cry from when you do the leap of faith.
we're both just destroying people listening to our audience.
No, this audio is going to be immaculate. gonna be great.
Clean.
Quentin, is there anything else that you did by yourself before
By
we get into
myself?
the altogether thing?
Altogether, no.
So my Ableton 11 free trial thing ended. That I don't know how much I've brought up in past podcasts about how
I
much.
don't think you've brought up your music stuff at
So
all.
I dabble in making music, nothing crazy. But I had Ableton 11 free for 90 days, and then whenever it was over, I used a different email and got it again free for
Don't
90 days.
admit to that before they take it away from you.
And
Do
then
what? Bar you from having bar all other emails?
yeah, right. They don't know my email,
They'll
and
come
stop
for
me.
you.
so
They'll get the fucking ninjas on you.
I'm sure they will. So I had it 3 times. I used 3 different emails. Got the free 90-day whatever, and it gives you like the full version. So it has like all these instruments and all these plugins, all this great stuff. Cool, awesome. But the other day, the third time I did it, so after what would that be, 9 months, I went to go do another email, and it didn't work. They caught on. They caught on to the gambit. So I don't have Ableton 11 anymore, except for I still have the free version that I got when I bought my keyboard. So I have the free version of Ableton 11, and it doesn't have a lot of instruments. So a lot of the music I was working on, I just can't play now.
That is a tragedy.
It is, because I had a lot of stuff going, and like now a lot of those instruments are no longer available to me unless I buy the full version. Which, who's got that kind of money in this economy?
How much money is it?
$600.
Oh my god.
Yeah, buy the full version, $600. Comes with those instruments though. Now you see why I used 3 emails to get it for 90 days free.
No, I didn't say you were doing a bad thing. I was just like, don't admit to it. But also, I see why you're admitting to it because it isn't working anymore regardless.
Yeah, now I just have the free version that I own. I have that key or whatever that I own. So now I can use that. It's Ableton 11 Lite. If you're getting into music, if anyone listening to this is getting into music, Ableton's great. And if you're going to use that 90-day trial, it is an amazing trial. 90 days. And you can make whatever you want. You can export it. You can do whatever you want. It's great. It's awesome. I love it. But like I said, the gambit's up.
Which is a shame.
Sad days. Sad days.
Obviously, Matt and I have heard some of Quentin's music, and it is quite good. It is quite good.
Quite good.
He has some
passable.
bangers in there. He
It's
has some
passable.
bangers in there. Some of it is passable, but there are some bangers in there. I'm telling you.
Keep an eye out, or an ear, or both.
Perhaps.
I'll put them somewhere eventually.
I've been working on writing stuff. I do quite a bit of writing in my spare time. Got a bunch of different projects I'm working on, really, both for YouTube stuff that I have in the works, as well as just personal writing stuff that I post on certain websites. Maybe I'll link to some of those. Maybe I won't, because I want to keep it kind of separate. But we will see. That being said, something that we're all doing is we are all part of a Discord server with some other friends of ours, as well as some friends of friends, where there are 2 different groups. There is a movie movie club, which is basically like a book club where you pick a book and read it, but instead it's whoever is the individual chosen that week. You pick 2 movies. Everyone votes on one of those 2 movies, and you watch it in the span of a week and review it. There's also another one that's the same thing, but for albums. Quentin and I are in both of them. Matt is in the movie one, just that one. It's honestly been a lot of fun, expanding my horizons a lot. I only recently joined the music one, and someone posted 2 albums in there, and I was curious. One that was like a soul funk fusion type thing, I believe is what it was. That one, and I listened to it, and it was pretty good, but it wasn't anything that is necessarily my taste. So out of curiosity, I listened to the other album that they suggested but didn't win, and it's a J-pop album, and I've been vibing to it all week. It's just so much fun for me. So I've been enjoying expanding my tastes in that regard. Quentin, I know you felt the same for the music one.
I haven't listened to the ones from this week, so that funk fusion, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be jazz, but like I haven't listened to it. I don't fucking know.
It's put under like soul and funk.
Okay, well, I haven't listened to that one, but the previous weeks there are some amazing tracks. I got last week, and so last week I put The Click by AJR, did not win, and then I put I can't remember the name of the album, but it was by the Heavy. The Gracious Dead, the Ungracious Dead, something like that. I like the Heavy a lot. If you haven't heard of them, they're pretty indie. They're great. I like them. They do a lot of commercial music, I guess, like we were talking about with Imagine Dragons. They have a lot of music that's on TV shows and stuff like that. Some of their music was on Borderlands. That's how I found them because of they had No Place for Heroes
This
or whatever
ain't
it's
no
called.
place for a hero.
That one. That one was on the opening of Borderlands 2. Great song. So I listened to them, and yeah, they're one of my favorites now. I don't think any of their songs are like bad. They're all either passable or great. Either way, that was the album that won for me. But the one before that was a album that was Japanese rock, J rock, I guess. And they're considered indie, but they're like the biggest thing in Japan or something like that. Like all their videos had like 300 million views. I was like, I don't know if you can call yourself indie anymore. I mean, I guess it's a genre, but you're not independent. And so it was really good. I don't listen to music that isn't English, I guess. It's very hard for me to, at least. I listened to a few French artists back whenever I was in high school and I actually was in French class. The teacher would recommend some songs and they were actually really good, but I didn't listen to a lot of stuff that wasn't English. But this album that was Japanese rock was amazing. There was some stuff on there that was trash, but there's stuff on there that was awesome. It was great. I couldn't believe it. I don't know what they're saying though, which I'm really big into lyrics. I'm really big into what are they trying to tell you with this song. So I have no idea what they're saying. So it is a testament to the composition, I think, to really grab me with literally just the instruments, even though there is lyrics going on. And their name is King Nu, King GNU. So King Nu. Really good, really good. They're huge. They're great. They're awesome. I listened to some of their stuff that wasn't even on that album, and it was great. It was good stuff.
Yeah, in terms of the movie one, I know I personally had a really good experience. So this with one of the movies, it really spoke to me and I related to it a lot. So I guess even though we're not in the recommendation section yet, this is definitely a recommendation. The Studio Ghibli movie Whisper of the Heart was I really loved it. It's very slow, very much slice of life type movie. If you're looking for more of the fantastical stuff that you might know Ghibli for through Howl's Moving Castle or Ponyo or Totoro or something like that, you're not really gonna find it there. There's like one or two sequences because the main character is an author, so there's one or two sequences where you see what they're writing. That's about it, but I really enjoyed that movie. I typically don't like giving movies ratings, but some of the people rate the movies and rate the albums, and I did give it a 10 out of 10 because I felt that passionate about it. It very much spoke to me, and I probably would have never watched that movie because, from what I know, it's one of the lesser known like hits from Ghibli. So
Also, speaking of that movie, if you know lo-fi beats to study and chill to,
oh yeah, the lo-fi girl
that
is from that
yeah,
movie.
that picture they show that scene like 3 times, and I kept making jokes about it to myself. I was watching it alone, but it was funny because if they first show it, and I was like, oh, okay, lo-fi beats to chill and study to, awesome, cool. And then they show it again with like the mom, and she had in the previous scene like said something about how she's writing a paper or whatever, a what would you call that?
She's writing a book.
Dissertation. That's actually what it was called.
Oh.
But she was writing a dissertation, and then they showed that scene where it was kind of like paralleling that scene they had with the girl. And in my head, I'm just like lo-fi beats to write a dissertation to.
Yeah, I'm gonna be
That
honest
was
with you
funny.
guys. I didn't really enjoy the movie. It was very boring for me. I was expecting like the fantastical aspects of Ghibli. Near like around the middle, I started skipping ahead because I was so bored. Which like this entire experience of like watching movies and reviewing them, pretty much every movie that we've seen so far, I would not have watched otherwise, and I feel kind of bad because I rate very subjectively. It's not worth trying to be objective with things, so I just accept that I'm going to rate things subjectively. And I already have a hard time with being recommended pretty much any form of media. So a lot of times it's like fives out of tens, and every time I'm like, man, what is the truth? so I gotta send it.
I feel like you might just be picky about your movies, but we kind of already
You
know
like
this.
action. You like bombastic anime.
I don't know about
shit.
that.
I want well written
Villains.
villains and cool action scenes.
Which
There's no villain in Whisper.
And
Nothing
there's no action
happens in
sequence.
Whisper except for like the last quarter. But yeah, I'm very subjective, and I don't know because like who is it? Not Captain Midnight. Who's
Captain
Cosmonaut.
Midnight.
Cosmonaut Variety Hour. I don't know if it was either Cosmonaut or Donkey that was like talking about ratings and how if ratings were true, then so many 5 out of 10s would be out because that should be the average, should it not? And so that's kind of what I tell myself to make myself feel better about rating as lowly as I do.
I think it's a lot better than rating higher because whenever somebody puts, especially even in that Discord, a lot of people put 7.5s, 8s, and then be like, "Yeah, I wasn't really feeling it." I'm like, then why'd you give it a 7.5 or an 8, bro?
Which again is why I hate rating things, and I only gave Whisper of the Heart 10 out of 10 because I enjoyed it and was that passionate about it. Which, granted, to your point, Matt, is also very subjective because I enjoyed that movie because it very much spoke to me. Like there was a lot of the main character wants to write a book and she's very creative and she has to struggle to do a lot of that sort of thing. There's also sort of not necessarily a these characters are not necessarily in a relationship, but there's hints of a long distance relationship, which to some extent I kind of have with my girlfriend. Not that far, we're only a couple hours apart, but our lives kind of prevent us from seeing each other regularly. So a lot of this stuff very much spoke to me. Also, I like slower paced things. That's just me. I also like slice of life. That's it's very much a me thing. So it is very subjective. I'm not gonna fault you for that.
Yeah, and I mean again, like me being recommended things already, like I don't know, I have a weird feeling with things I'm recommended. So that's part of the reason why I haven't joined the music one because I feel like if I listen to the album, I'm just not gonna like it because it was recommended to me, and so I felt not forced to watch it, but like it was just presented to me. I don't know. It's a weird.
I'm
It's a very
surprised you
subjective
even
thing.
joined the movie group because you hate being recommended stuff so
Well, my
much.
thing is that in that case, I get to watch movies that I never would have watched, like at all. Um, which is cool and all.
And at least like refine your taste, kind of know what your preferences really are.
I mean, kind of. I already pretty much know my preferences, but it's just I get to see a lot of movies that that would never get to see. Tetsuo the Iron Man.
No.
Shut
I
up.
would have never known
Shut
that
up.
existed.
No.
Shut up.
Okay.
That's a
Shut
unique
up.
experience.
Shut up.
That was the movie that we had to watch this
No.
past week, and we did not enjoy it.
Shut up. Oh,
It is horrifying.
awful. Awful.
Would not recommend.
You said that it jumpstart the indie film industry in Japan.
Who did?
That
No.
is true. So
No.
basically, the indie film movement in Japan was basically dead. A lot of like the indie films that people would see for international film festivals, none were from Japan. Tetsuo the Iron Man comes out, and everyone's like, maybe we should rethink this and start looking at the indie film group in Japan. This is a
It would
fact.
happen the other way around. Like there would be a wide variety
No.
of indie movies,
No.
and then Tetsuo the Iron Man comes out. They're like, okay, maybe we should
just disqualify
maybe we should
Japan
put
every
some
year.
shackles.
Nope.
So here's the thing. The entire time we were talking about this whole thing, and as soon as you brought up that Discord group, I was sitting here on a line on the ledge of like, okay, we're good. We're not going to bring up anything bad. We're just going to sit here and talk about the good stuff, right? And then this motherfucker over here decides he's going to bring up that shit. Oh my god. Terrible. Terrible. Don't.
I've never seen you this like. Actually, I have seen you this shaken with only one other.
Don't. The thing is like this movie isn't like PTSD inducing. It's not like that. It's just off the wall.
That's the bar.
It's I don't even know how to describe it. Like, I don't want to add a lot of mystique to it and then people go watch it. Like, no. But don't.
Your reaction has already betrayed you.
Oh, it's terrible. Don't watch it.
I will say it is very gory at points, and also there's a lot of.
It doesn't mean anything.
It's also there's also a lot of adult content, if you understand what I'm trying to say. So if that kind of stuff is not your thing, and you are curious about the movie, I'm just gonna tell you that it has that in it right now, so you don't try to watch that movie and already get turned off by that. There's a lot of crazy stuff. It's very much an art house, cyberpunk kind of horror movie. I wouldn't I wouldn't recommend it personally.
And I would have never seen that if I hadn't joined this Discord.
You're right.
Also,
You're right. I
in
would have
the-
kept my innocence. You're right.
I know that all that I'm saying about this could also apply to music, but I'm more sensitive to music than I am to watching a movie. Like, if somebody recommends me a movie, I'm more likely to enjoy it than if somebody recommends me a song.
I feel like you'd hate a lot of the music that's in there. Like some of it's stuff that I think you're into, but some of it is out there.
Well, I mean, we have a dude who loves like weird
Metal.
dark metal stuff, so
So
that
he
stuff's
put-
definitely not up your alley.
I'm gonna say something that might upset him if he even listens to this. He put like a death metal or fucking screamo metal. I don't even know what type of metal because there's like 300 genres of that shit. And he put that in there, and we voted on it because the two options were both metal. So we voted on whichever one we thought would be best, right? And I listened to it, and I'm not into metal, and I did find some good things in there. In my reviews, they're like paragraphs. It is like a review. And I found some good stuff in there. You can always learn something from anything. You know, everything can teach you something. But it's I don't get it. I don't get why people like that. I don't understand. I don't think you'd like it, Matt.
It's just different taste, man. I mean, why would a person who doesn't understand Japanese love weird, throw everything at the wall possible J-pop? I don't know, but I do for some reason.
I mean, I didn't think I'd like Japanese rock, but
I don't know.
shit,
Some anime
that shit
themes are pretty
hits.
baller.
Oh no, anime themes are fire. Like there's some really good ones. I need to listen to more cuz like I'm not really interested in rewatching Naruto or Shippuden, but I know that some of those intros are fire, dog. Matthew's over there vibing silently to the songs to whichever one of them played in his head just now. I don't know which one it was.
The opening of
All I
Cowboy
know is
Bebop's pretty good.
the
It's pretty good,
all
In
I
other
know is
news,
the
water wet.
right?
the only thing I remember from any of the intros is the "You are my friend." From one of them. I don't remember which one it was. It's from original Naruto, I think. But that's the only thing I remember. I don't even remember the actual song. I just remember the "You are my friend."
There was another album that one of them recommended me that wasn't even like a part of, hey, select these two and listen to the one that wins. He was just like, oh, if you liked King New, you should listen to this other group. And I listened to that other group because he recommended an album that was like their best hits, like their biggest stuff in Japan. I listened to it and I was like, no, it's pretty bad. And one of the things that they do with it is that they mix English and Japanese, which on the whole, not a bad thing, not a bad idea. But what I was hoping for was it to rhyme. That would be awesome if they rhymed something in English to the next line being in Japanese, right? They don't do that. And it annoys me because why put English in there at all? Why? Like, did that elevate the song in some way? I don't think it did.
I mean, there are some phrases in English that they just use in Japan.
It's ridiculous to me. And like the funny thing I thought that was kind of funny was that the guy who recommended that album, I said, hey, I listened to that album. He's like, oh, what'd you think about it? And I was like, I don't know. It's very like it's pop is what it was. It wasn't J rock like King New, but whenever I listened to it, I was like, it doesn't feel like something that I would really listen to. And someone else listened to it as well, and they said it sounds like Japanese Coldplay. And I was like,
Oh my god!
you know what?
Damn.
What an insult.
I was like, you know what? I get that.
Granted,
I get where you're going with that.
Coldplay does have some good stuff.
They do. I'm not saying anything against Coldplay. Like I understand in the public consciousness they're trash, but I actually do like a little bit of Coldplay, just a little bit.
Old Coldplay.
Oh yeah,
Coldplay.
I haven't listened to any of their new stuff in like what 10 years. But the thing is that when he said that, I understood what he was saying, and then I said, yeah, I get that, and I think that their stuff it's pop and it's very safe, is what I told him, is what I said in the Discord chat. And then when he reviewed the Heavy album that I posted, he was like, oh, it sounds really safe. You know, all their stuff they're doing is just like really safe, really mainstream. And I'm like, dude, like he's using the exact terminology. I don't think it was, a jab at me, but still, I thought that was funny.
Is this the same person that their first thing got criticized, so then whenever our friend posted the thing, they got okay.
No, that was hilarious though, because someone else posted an album and one of our buddies said,
I think it was the King New album.
It was the King New album. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So this guy posted the King New album. One of our friends went ahead and gave his review and gave like a 1 or something like that, like a 2. Like they do ratings. I don't really do ratings like that, but still, they do. So he gave it like a really bad score. Said he didn't like it. It was bad. Blah blah blah. From his own opinion, subjective. Great, cool. But then like the next album was the metal album, and the day that it was voted upon, this guy who put the King New album into play gave his review the day the metal album came out and said it's trash, it's hot garbage, it's wet shit. Like that's how he worded it too. And I was like, oh, that's a little grotesque, bro.
And yeah, and he was like, this would have been a 1, but I put it up to a 1.5 because I talked to one of my metal friends and they were explaining, or like my friends who likes metal, who actually has now joined the chat. But he was like, I asked him about it and he was telling me how important it was and how influential it was, but I didn't care, so I only gave it a 0.5, so he gave it a 1.5.
Yeah, it was the day the album came out, and usually in this chat, the if history's anything to go on, we all wait till like the day before it's quote unquote due to actually give our reviews. So it was funny that
I voted on
Yeah.
the um soul funk fusion thing like the day after though, because like music's way easier to listen to for me.
but he put that in the day after the metal album was announced to be what we were gonna do. And so our buddy who gave the bad review for the King New album was like, I wonder if he's just salty. Like I don't believe that, but I just thought it was a funny thing to think about. And then it happened with this other guy whenever it came to the Heavy album, and I was like, is he just mad that that I said that about his album?
Whenever Matt puts his like movies forward, I'm gonna make sure to trash on whatever movie he get on whatever movie
It's
he
funny you
posts.
say that because I'm definitely putting the Barbie movies up.
Are you actually gonna do the Barbie movies just to troll?
I might.
You have to make sure they're on something though, because we
No,
have to be able to find them. That is one of the rules.
the president has not shown
That would
that
be
is true.
great though if Estefano's gonna stick to his guns on that and say I'm gonna downvote anything that you do, and then you make sure that the one that wins is Estefano's favorite movie.
I already put my favorite movie.
Goonies.
I already put my favorite movie in my thing. If you put it again, then whatever. I'm not actually gonna do that.
It's
but-
not actually the Goonies again. It's Goonies HD.
Goonies HD. Yeah, I'm not actually gonna do that because, like I said, everyone is open to their own opinion. Now, if Matt actually puts the Barbie movies and I have to watch that, it's probably not gonna be good. So I probably will downvote that. But
That'd be hilarious because the next day everyone's gonna be like 1 out of 10, or someone's gonna be like 10 out of 10, one of the best movies I've ever seen in my life, and they're gonna be.
I mean, our friend probably will
disrespectfully
because he
wrong.
put like a freaking 8 out of 10 for Tetsuo because he's like it was funny.
Although I think Tetsuo versus Barbie is maybe the largest jump you could make in cinema history.
The largest.
That's
jump.
fair.
Horrible movie. Don't watch that one.
But yeah, does anyone have anything else they wanted to bring up?
No.
If not, then I guess we go into our final section of the podcast. What recommendations does everyone have? I know I mentioned Whisper of the Heart earlier. Definitely, I would highly recommend. Again, if you're looking for more fantastical stuff, or like action stuff, like Matthew said, that's what he's typically into. He didn't really enjoy it, but if you're into slower stuff, more character stuff, slice of life stuff, then that's definitely your deal. Also, I would recommend Guardians of the Galaxy, as I said, it was my game of the year. You guys have anything else?
I mean, I spoke about Arcane. I definitely recommend that everybody watch it. You don't need to know League of Legends lore to get into the show. Characters are introduced pretty naturally. Other than that, been playing Fire Emblem Three Houses. That's a fun game. Although it's pretty old, so I'm sure if you're gonna play it, you've played it.
I wish I could play it, but Nintendo never makes their fucking games less than $60, so it's not like
Yeah,
I'm
no,
ever
they'll
gonna
never
fucking
come
find it
down.
on sale.
You have to go to GameStop, find it pre-owned.
Yeah, probably.
Lastly, Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut. Play that shit. The new expansion, the
never
Iki
stop.
Island. Fire. Play it.
How long after release can you continue to say the new expansion?
A year.
A whole year? Okay,
A whole year.
that's fair.
So we have until next summer.
Okay. Until next week. The deadline.
The disappointment in your voice. So we have this until next summer.
Oh no, it's excitement that I only have to wait until next summer, and then you can't call it new anymore. But the thing is that you'll still fucking recommend it every week, and I'll suffer every single time.
I'm really racking my brain trying to think of what to recommend. I can just say what I've been doing. I got sucked back into playing Stellaris recently. One of my buddies was like, "Hey, let's play Stellaris." So him and I played a bit. Played on a small star system, I guess, galaxy. It's a space game, and we played all the way up until the final thing came about. Took us 8 hours. We started at like 11 p.m.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing. They start playing Stellaris. I'm playing a different video game. Just I think it was like like Wilder Myth. I bought a whole bunch of games on Steam because of the Steam sale for like the autumn sale or whatever. And so it's like 2 maybe 3 a.m., right? And I'm like, you know what? It's getting late. I think I'm gonna turn in. I'm gonna go to sleep. I go to sleep. I wake up the next morning and I open Discord. And sometimes Discord lags. So if you were in a voice call the previous night, everyone who was in that voice call with you will still be in the Discord thing until it reloads itself, just lag. And I was like, okay, oh look, X person and Quentin are in the voice call. It's gonna, reload again. It didn't reload. They were still playing this fucking game. And I pop into the thing and I'm like, are you guys still playing Stellaris right now? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, did you even go to sleep? And they go, no.
Yeah, it was a good game, except for we got mollywopped by.
There we go.
I was waiting,
There we
trying to find an excuse for
It
it.
was a good game until we got mollywopped.
Yeah. So we got fucked up by the final thing that's supposed to happen after like 2,500 years, and yeah, we got killed pretty steadily. I was the last to go, and then an AI won by default. Because the way that game works is that if you beat the final boss or whatever, it's not even a boss, the final outcome thing that happens, or you take out every other empire in the galaxy, you win. And a little screen comes up saying, "Oh, you won because of whatever the fuck," right? Well, that final encounter doesn't count as another civilization. So if they wipe out everyone except for one empire, that one empire wins because of the game thinks they wiped out every other empire. So I was the last empire, and another empire that was like the whole game, just a single star system, just like smallest of the small. Like if you're playing Civ, it's someone who has one city that is horribly designed, right? And this other this final encounter group comes in, takes out everyone, including my friend that I'm playing with. But my friend's like, I'll watch, me die. Cool. Because we knew it was over. We knew it was over. So they come through, wipe out everyone. I'm like, I think I'm alone. And then they take my last star system, and then it pops up a little thing saying this other group won, who hadn't done shit the entire fucking game for 8 hours. And we were like, yep, that's fair. So I would recommend Stellaris. I have many stories on Stellaris. I was going to bring up another story, but since you told that one, that'll cover our story on Stellaris this week. If I have another one, I'll bring it up in the future if we ever bring up Stellaris again. But there are many stories to be told in Stellaris. That's a good game. I'd say I recommend that game because that's pretty good. And there's so many different scenarios that can play out. It's great. I feel like I should have another recommendation though.
Cowboy
Stellaris.
Bebop.
Cowboy Bebop, the anime is great. I'd recommend that if you haven't watched it. It's been what, 25 years?
There were people who were born who were not old enough to watch that show.
I mean,
when it
is that
came
not
out,
the
so-
case the day after something comes out?
I mean, yeah.
There are people
So I'm
who are
just
born.
saying, a lot of people will experience it at some point.
Yeah, like it's a good show. It's a good anime. I'm not into anime. Like that is high praise. I don't watch anime.
Yeah, he does not like.
He hates it.
I don't hate anime. I don't watch
He
anime.
despises it. He wants it destroyed.
It's the worst thing in the world.
What is the thing that you said about Tetsuo? I wish it did not
Oh
exist
my
in the
God,
same
plane of existence that I had to walk upon. Yeah, I feel that way.
That's how he feels about anime.
Yeah, I wish that the plane of existence it existed and I existed were separate.
Yeah, if you guys want to just keep tally, we have the 3 things that Quentin hates: anime, rabbits, And what was the third thing?
Spy Kids 3.
No.
Spy
There's
Kids
something
3.
something that Quentin hates. I can't. We'll bring it back up next episode. Don't
Children.
worry. Children. Yeah,
I
he
don't
hates
hate
children.
children.
I lost the word there.
But
So
yeah,
Cowboy Bebop and Stellaris. Play Stellaris. Watch Cowboy Bebop the anime.
the only other things I have left are 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim. I recommended it last time, but I don't think I had finished it yet. I finally finished it. Probably one of the best, if not the best, narrative I've ever experienced in a game through the way it tells its narrative, and the characters are so great. I really, really enjoyed it. A lot of people have called it Atlas's best game. I have not played all of Atlas's games, but of the three I have played, definitely the best. It's coming to Switch soon, so I'd highly recommend it. Either on Switch or it is on PlayStation 4, and I would assume you can, backwards compatible with PlayStation 5. And finally, the Hawkeye show is going on right now. Episode 1 and 2 came out last week. Episode 3 has come out this week, though that is incorrect by the time you're watching it. By the time you're watching this, episode 4 will probably be out. But yeah, I'd highly recommend it. Especially episode 3 had some of the best action I've seen in any of these shows. There's a really, really cool car chase sequence that I won't say anything else, but there's something cool that they do with the camera in that car chase sequence that I really, really liked. Very, very unique, at least for a Marvel movie. So, I'd highly recommend the Hawkeye show. Anything else anyone has?
No.
I don't know why you took forever to lean over just to say no.
I was really trying to think of something clever, but brain don't work.
Well, on that note, thank you guys for listening. Just as a heads up, since this year is slowly coming to an end, I'm just gonna give you a quick sneak peek on what the next couple episodes are gonna be. Our next episode of the podcast will be the things we are most anticipating next year in 2022, any sort of media. And then the episode after that, which will likely be our first episode in 2022, unless we somehow manage to record earlier and post it earlier, which I doubt will happen. That will be the episode about our best of 2021. So look forward to those. Obviously, everyone has those sorts of lists, and our lists are, of course, fact and not opinion at all or subjective. If you disagree with us, you're wrong. But look forward to those two.
Go ahead and try to downvote the video.
Yeah, if anyone
Go ahead.
disagrees, go ahead and leave a dislike. And we'll just count up the amount of dislikes.
Yeah.
And-
We'll
and-
see how many we get, and then we'll know which way we should go.
Yeah. But on that note, again, thanks everyone for watching, and we will see you next time.
Peace.
Bye.